Greetings, everyone. We are live again. Dynasty Mir, search for Uhuru. Let's get some more people in the chat room, everyone. It's been a while. We have not had Uncle Calafanos on in a minute. Everybody's favorite uncle on Search for Uhuru. We haven't had him on in a while, but he is. We, not just he, but we are about to rise up, just like Al Sharpton's new book.
You
Speaking
saw
of
that, right?
Al, hey, listen. Speaking of Al Sharpton, we are going to be discussing the old civil rights, so-called misleadership, and Black Lives Matter, and why they're no longer relevant. But before we get into the topic, guys, make sure you go to dynastymir.com. Again, make sure you go to dynastymir.com. While you're there, grab your Black Love or Die Trying shirt. Again, grab your Black Love or Die Trying shirt. Also, get your books as well while you're there. And if you want an autographed copy of one of my books, cash at me $20. I'll ship it to you anywhere in the continental United States of America. If you want it shipped overseas, it's going to cost you $30. Let me know which book you want and who to make it out to. Okay. And I'm going to need your address as well. So after you cash app, email me, go to dynastyspirit.com, send me an email, and we will jump into that. I will send that to you. Also, I am now a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Georgia. So appreciate it, Colin. Appreciate it, Colin. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Literally, I arrived back to America last Thursday, well, Thursday before last, and I rested up, took my test that following day on that Friday, and passed with flying colors. So, guys, if you're in the market for a home, whether buying, selling, commercial properties, investments, I'm your guy. And the plan is taking these skills to Africa. So the actual real estate site, which is going to include properties here and also properties in Africa, that will be up and running. I'm going to say realistically, because I'm leaving to go back to Sierra Leone, back to Africa here in a couple of weeks. So realistically, we're going to say probably mid-January, maybe before I leave, but for sure mid-January at the latest. Hollis Amir is the brand. Also, we do financial services when it comes to retirement and life insurance. And if you guys want a business centered around that, holler at me as well. Go to dynastymir.com, send me a message, and we'll get you guys up and running. Shout out to Indigenous TV in the chat room, guys. Make sure you hit that like button as you come to the chat room. Again, please hit the like button. Again, please hit that like button and share it. Also become a monthly Patreon, patreon.com, search for Uhuru. Again, patreon.com, search for Uhuru. Without further ado, so Colin, let's go ahead and unpackage this election and where we're at now.
Okay, well,
So black folks were bragging about how they saved the Democratic Party.
right.
Right. And then on one end, was it Clyburn, James Clyburn?
Mm-hmm.
He was saying that Biden doesn't owe black folks nothing. Mm-hmm. But on the other end, he's crying that black folks aren't getting a seat at the table.
Mm-hmm.
Black Lives Matter, they were like, look, we got to get the orange man out the office. We got to get the orange man out the office. Now they're crying, it wasn't about reparations, none of that stuff. Just we got to get the orange man out the office. They were criticizing Ice Cube for wanting to sit down and meet with Biden and Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're upset that it's been 32 days and Biden and Kamala has not reached back out to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just confused. I thought it was about getting rid of the orange man. Like I thought we got rid of the orange man and we're good to go. Like I'm confused now. I thought that was the objective: get rid of the orange man, and everything will be fine. Like everything will be okay.
See, what's happening right now is this, right? The deck of the House of Cards is just coming out. That's what you got with the Democratic Party level. It's a House of Cards. So it's a facade. It's a fake unity. It was a fake outrage, fake movement. It's been fake for a long time. We know that, right? Anybody who lives in New York knows, or maybe even San Francisco know when there's far leftists want only one thing: they want power. That's all it is, right? Black people, our emotions, our plight, and everything are just something to be exploited every 4 years for political gain and political expediency. Now, I'm not. I know these people, Sharpton and all these people, know that, right? But the thing is, though, here's the problem, right? And this is the problem in a nutshell. And I've said this on this show before. The people that purport to speak for us don't respect us, and they have no fear of us. It's like everybody's on their lane like this, and I don't play this game, right? They're like, okay, we're all trying to get this money. They know they're all full of shit. It's just like you meeting somebody, right? You're about there doing your speech. I'm the man. I'm saying this, right? And what you do is get with that other person, right? Let's say Umar. Well, at least in social media, you keep it real a little bit, right? Because you see Michi X and Tariq Nasheed going at it, right? You know, it's the moment you solo, the moment you see them coming together, right? There's something wrong. That basically said, okay, we don't want to mess each other's money up. That's what you have with the black leadership. They don't give a damn about the masses of black people, right? They don't care. They come from districts where black people are suffering. There's crime rate, there's police brutality, there's all the stuff like that. Nothing ever changes. Look at Chicago, right? Chicago is just gone, right? Baltimore, gone. You have black administration, black leadership, everything. So their idea is this is a problem. Their idea is that they think that the majority of us, all right, if they can get the majority of us thinking like that, right, where they don't have to do anything and they can get us to vote anyway, they won. Now, how do they do it? First of all, they do it by browbeating you, by telling you that you have no other place to go. The Republicans are racist, you know. It's a Dice, you're on mute. You're back in we're for perpetually in 1964, right? In 19 let me tell you something about the 1964, folks. The majority of I would say 99% of congressmen were white. There weren't any black mayors, there weren't anything, right? Everything was white. Since that time period, 50 something, 55 years, right? 56 years, right? Black people have had our corporate America, and we made progress, right? But instead of us thinking like a people that made some sort of progress, where we could look at black people not as a helpless monolith, that white people got to always the paternalistic attitude they have towards black people. Oh, what about the black people? Have you ever went to the black people and said what they want? No. You assume that all black people are poor, all black people are this, and all black people are victims, perpetual victims of racism and all stuff like that, which it exists. But but it's not the thing to give your allegiance to politically. You see what I mean? The Chinese suffer the same thing. You know, Asians have the same thing. Hispanics have the same thing. But when you look at the Hispanic vote and Asian vote, it's like split 50-50, right? That reflects the success of the Hispanic community entering the mainstream. Some people agree with the thing. They become assimilated, right?
Right.
Even black people who become assimilated into America, right, feel a thing that's about their wait, dude, you making $300,000 a year. You know, why are you voting against your interests? Why is it that your vote? Well, I just got to vote because the Republicans are racist. They're gonna come and get you. And this fear tactic, right? This fear, right? In other words, basically, us nationalists, we always say this. Okay, if that's the case, America is a perpetually racist. Why don't we leave and build a nation of our own? No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Okay, then somebody will say, well, let's see what we could do with this. The Democrat Party's not working for us, right? So let's go another way. Maybe let's listen to what Trump has to say. No, you can't do that. So vote Democrat. Why? Well, you have no choice because racism, white supremacy, racism. Donald Trump's going to get you. He's going to get you. Racism. And they have black people in a state of fear. You are not free when you cannot basically say, you know something, like Ice Cube. He said, I want to see what Trump has to say, right? I'm concerned about black. There's no directive to Trump. Trump says, okay, we'll pass a platinum plan, whatever like that, whether you agree with it or not, right? It was something. The Democrats put nothing on the table for black people, and we still gave them the 90% of our vote. Why? It's fear. And the people they use fear for the masses, right? And they use butter biscuits for their chosen few. Fear for the masses, and then let's talk about this. Let's say the fear is running this police brutality, right? What did
Right.
Joe Biden promise that he's going to do to the police? He already told you
He
defunding the
already,
police.
he already said he can't really do anything. He said he can't pass.
It's not
Yeah.
going to do it. So what was the difference between Trump? I'm basically saying is this though, right? Black people had a chance, right, to destroy the Democratic Party, to destroy that party. The black people make up something like half the Democratic voting bloc, half. So therefore they cannot win anything if black people had stood home and said we're not voting anymore, so we'll get nothing. Well, okay, what you do is this, right? You ever see like a company, the union can't reach a negotiation. What does a company do? If the union don't come to terms, what does the company do? Or you're not
If, if they
it's
can't
called a
reach you.
lockout. It's called a lockout.
Right.
The company has enough resources to sustain itself, right, for about 4 or 5 years. Insurance lockout. We're not going to let you back in until you come to terms. The union has a thing called the boycott. We're not going to come back to work, right?
Right.
With black people, we're not. How are you going to say we're serious when you don't have no negotiation? There's no or else.
Right.
If you don't have the or else, then what do you talk about? So you already went operating from a position of weakness. You're saying we're going to vote for you anyway because we're scared of the orange man, but you got to give us this. That's not a position of power. You're saying that we're going to vote for you anyway, but you're going to give us this. So therefore, already Joe Biden, first thing he says is he's going to take care of the LGBTQ. It's going to be transgenders are going to be law. He's going to reinstate transgenders in the military. Okay, he's going to give citizenship to Indians. The Indians that don't know H-1 visas, whatever. He's going to give like 500,000 citizenship. He's going to give DACA kids citizenship. He's going to all those illegal aliens 20 million. He's going to give a pathway to citizenship. Then he's going to give you got a caravan right now forming in Honduras, right? Saying we have nothing here. They're headed for the United States right now as we speak. And they're going to be right here for the inauguration. The day Joe Biden takes office, they're going to bum rush the border and come right into the neighborhood where you live at and take your job, take your McDonald's job that you're complaining about.
Right.
So
let me read this. Let me read the super chat real quick, Carla. Shout out to brother Larry's Anything Goes LLC. It's all about silver rights, not civil rights. Make money moves, or live broke like a fool.
I agree. Yeah. Well, we don't think like that. Why? Because black people, we're an emotional people.
Right.
We're emotional people. The people don't want to leave us alone. You have white people basically going around talking about you see these Black Lives Matter where all lives don't matter. Black Lives Matter. That's not done by black people. That's done by white people. That's their perception of us. Their perception of us is that we're pathetic, we're children, we're just weak, we're victims, and all this stuff like that. That we don't have it together, and they forever need them our help. Did you see the case where a white girl, went to Spelman, right?
You know what? I didn't read the entire case, but I heard about it. Some people were outraged.
She said she went to Spelman because she has white privilege and she wants to get caught up in the black spirit and all this kind of stuff like this. And black people, Black Lives Matter and all stuff like that. And I'm saying that's what white people used to say back in the 60s.
Right.
People, I'm gonna go to black. I'm gonna get in touch with my black friends and whatnot. I know my white privilege, and we got to help these people. Look, black people, we always took pride. We don't need your fucking ass. So how do we get back all the way back to like 1964, where white people got to come in and rescue us? That girl going to Spelman, then she said, "Well, I apologize if people took it the wrong way."
Let me ask you this though. Now, Spelman was started by Rockefellers, was funded by the Rockefellers, and I think named after Rockefeller's wife.
I don't know the history of Spelman. Yeah, all I know is Bill Cosby gave $20 million to Spelman, and I do say it's a credible black institution. Whether the origins of all these institutions, Howard and all that were white generals. It's a very few of them started by black people. They usually started by mixed race black people and white people charity during this time of the Civil War. And they did it over the years. It became a black institute, Black Power Studies, Black Studies, and came afterwards. So all these institutions were never really designed for like nationalism or nation building. It was designed for slowly assimilating into American society. So we really never had any really institutions that protected Black America. Everything about us was getting us towards living into a pluralistic white society. That's why when you look at Howard University, right, and you look at DC, it's a travesty. At the same hand, you look at Berkeley and you look at the white community that surrounds it, it's a difference. You can see the manifestation of their education towards their communities.
Yeah, you just really said something, Kala. You just made a great point. The communities around these HBCUs are goodness. Before gentrification in Atlanta, you wouldn't step foot outside of Spelman and Clark, Atlanta, and you wouldn't step foot in these communities
because we have a sick mind. It's time to start calling it out. Our education system is sick, right? The people who purport to be our leaders are sick. We're a sick people, right? We're a sick people, and this is why this lecture just showed how sick we really are. Sick we really are. We should have been like, yo, look, we've been voting for Democrats for all this time. Black America would have been 50-50 on both sides, right? And even if Joe Biden won, that would say that, something, you can't take the black vote for granted. You got to engage with people. But basically, what we just said to the world, right? You don't have to do anything. They're going to vote for you anyway because they live in fear. You call yourself an American. If you was a real American, you will be part of all that America offers. You will be in the Republican Party. You will be in the Conservative Party. You will be in all these other institutions because it's a manifestation. The fact that you're not in these institutions mean that subconsciously you don't believe you belong in this country, right? So what does that leave us, right? That means that the nationalist community have a point. They were right all along. You don't want to assimilate fully, right? You want to half assimilate, right? And then don't assimilate fully, right? And then the bottom line is this: you leave masses of black people behind. And I saw that thing. I listened to that thing with Joe Biden, right? We want to laugh about it, but it was really sad. As much as we hate the civil rights leaders and everything like that, I mean, we don't like him or not. The way he was talking to them, and the way his tone, it was almost like Barack Obama. It's like Barack Obama really taught him how to talk to black people. You guys got to do this. What about this? What about police? I can't do nothing about police brutality. What about Walter Sperry? He said, well, you guys should be more like the Hispanics. They outnumber you. He said they more outnumber you. And then you got Asians and all these other people. You guys got to stop doing basically Biden saying, y'all got to pull yourselves up. So what gets me is this, though. If that's the case, if we're black people, if you're really serious about black people and black power and everything like that, why don't we have a black political party? Why don't we have that? Why don't we have a black political party? What's the sense? So we could weigh this out. We don't have to. Who gets elected doesn't mind us. If we were basically building institutions, social institutions, economic institutions, educational institutions, and everything, and we use these platforms to showcase these institutions and everything, we do not have to run up there like fools to the polls. We don't have to participate. The one thing they fear is black people sort of withdrawing from America. Because when you withdraw from America, then what's going to come next? There was a fear that communism, during the time of the Cold War, right? The fear was that communism or Russia was going to infiltrate black America. No, we stayed loyal. We stayed loyal. The Kremlin tried to reach out to us. They brought Paul Robeson and several African Americans to the Kremlin. We stayed loyal to America, right? And what does America reward us for? More brutality, more racism, and everything. So this is just an attempt, right, to basically what it is America really doesn't give a shit about what happens to us. We've disappeared. They can care less. So you basically, instead of saying, something, let's go something. So this is the opportunity over in Africa. Let's look at that. There's opportunity in Dubai. There's opportunity in Australia. There's opportunity in Japan. There's opportunity in China. Let's see what we can do. We're not that sort of people, right? We don't have any economic plan. We have nothing, stuff like that, because the people that's leading us, right? The only thing they want to talk about is still fight. They even still right now talk about we got to keep on the pressure on the Democrats. How are you going to keep the pressure on them? And they use.
No.
Let me tell you something right now. I knew this. Oh, the whole reparation things was a farce. That was an excuse to engage the the political system. For example, look at right now in America, right? We have Liberians and Africans who are running for who won lots of seats in office, mayors of towns. African immigrants are now in another 10 years. You watch, African immigrants are going to basically blossom. They're engaged in American institutions. Everywhere there's dollars or money to get, whether it's the Small Business Administration, everything, these immigrants are taking advantage of stuff and they're pipelining it back to their home countries. To the point where we talk about Pan-Africanism, Black America politically and socially are going to be irrelevant in the scheme of things. This last election showed the world that Black people in America are a bunch of fools. We're not serious about anything. Even if you didn't like Donald Trump, the fact that we've had these Black people laughing and cackling, orange man, everything. But look at all the stuff he was doing: low Black unemployment rate, the enterprise zones, First Step Act, all these things right there he was doing. We didn't care about that. We joined the stupid. And look who's leading us: entertainers, rappers.
Right.
This is how foolish. This is who we are. This is our kids, next generation are like, what did y'all do? Why are we in the bad? It's going to get worse for the next generation because we were emotional. Instead of letting the Democratic Party die, they had no chance. If Black people would set this election down one night, the Democrats would have lost. Then we could have created a new political party, which we was at the helm of. If we're the most loyal voters, why are we at the bottom of the party?
Right. Guys, hit that like button again. Please hit the like button as you come to the chat room. Please hit that like button. Let me read the super chat. Shout out to Rob Green. Thank you for the super chat. My family is so dominated by liberal feminists. I feel like they'd be more comfortable if I said I was trans or gay than admit I'll let the cat his own.
Yeah, that's what it is, bro. If you're not a LGBTQ, if you're not trans, if you're not one of these effeminate beta males and everything like that, they don't want to hear from you. Being a Black male, heterosexual male is the most worst thing you could be in America. That's what it is right now. You have to be this go along to get along Black man. I said, what about your community, Mr. Black man? What do you like? Then another thing is this, though. Black people are abandoning the community right now. You have white people moving into traditional Black communities, buying up properties for pennies on a dollar.
Atlanta, prime example.
It's here in Norfolk. It's all over the place.
Listen, Colin, pennies on the dollar. And the value is.
Hey, Dinus, they know for a fact.
And they call it, we being gentrification.
Because we let the neighborhoods be dominated by thugs, criminals, and everything, and we move out. And then, you know what's happening? The same thug element is following you to the suburbs. You thought you were leaving. There's no escape. Instead of dealing with this thing right here, what we need really is a strong Black ownership class, right? To be the leaders of the community. The wealthiest person that the average Black person should know shouldn't be a rapper or a drug dealer, anything like that. He should be a businessman, everything like that. We should have institutions, social clubs, everything, doing our own thing, And then when people know that, right, you have standards bearers in your community, right? You have role models. Your role model. It's all right to go to college. It's all right to get an education. It's all right to do all these things and everything. But now look at our culture, right? Our culture, of the very worst elements of Black America, is shown to us on our entertainment. The very worst of us is put out there. So what chance do the kids have? They have absolutely no chance. And so therefore you have a lot of Black people who really don't want to be part of the community. They don't want to be part of Black them. Then what happens is white people, you move out, the Mexicans and whites move in. And then you like, oh, we're being regentrified. Well, where do you live? Well, I live out in the suburbs. Why'd you leave? We're being regentrified. So white people taking over. No, fool. It's all about dollars and cents, right? When you lived in the neighborhood, right, it was high crime. The property values fell, right? You didn't keep your neighborhood up, right? You didn't do all the stuff like that. You didn't, your parents' home that you grew up in and everything like that, you let the city foreclose on it or take the tax away. You just said you going in there building it up for somebody, for cousin Jeffro and his wife to move in and whatnot and collect rent and everything like other people do, and giving them a leg up and everything. We have no general transform of wealth, right? Everybody, each generation is starting from scratch. We don't pass nothing down. This is the funny thing. They asked Joe Biden, what are you going to do about creating intergenerational wealth for black people? I'm like, yo.
But Colin, you know what's crazy, Colin? Like, why weren't these conversations coming up when Obama was in office?
Because the bottom line is, Obama couldn't do nothing for us or not. Now black people are like, you know something, man. Now if you attack, he couldn't do nothing for black people, right? But you wanted Trump to do something. Oh, Trump ain't do nothing for Trump. Obama, he's basically Jesus Christ, Jesus Jr. You cannot talk an ass about Obama or whatever he didn't do and everything. And then not only that, that's just a genuine question, right? Because no president can do that for you. That's something that has to come from within. The Mexicans have the intergenerational wealth. Like Brandon was saying one time, he said a Mexican guy came in to Crenshaw as a janitor. His son's now a doctor in the hospital. They move on.
Fact, guys, we're going to open up the lines here in about 10 minutes. So if you guys want to call in, send me an email, huru@searchforhuru.com. huru@searchforhuru.com. Man, I thought you just was down in a bottle of OE, Colin.
What
I'm like, I was like, is that a bottle of OE you just took to the head? I'm like,
oh no, man, just a bottle of water.
Okay, I'm like, is that a bottle of OE?
Yeah, guys. OE. I'm not there yet, man. But give me some time. I might be there with the OE.
Yeah.
Man.
So guys, again, if you want to call in 10 minutes or huru@searchforhuru.com, send me an email, you call in. Colin, so we'll say May. Where do you see this? Like, what do you predict?
I told you before, all hell's gonna break loose. First of all, what's gonna happen is this, right? Kim Jong-il gonna start getting a little salty. Because nothing's stopping right now. Now he can he's gonna bully Biden, and Biden, this guy got dementia. He was talking the other, unless he's reading from a teleprompter, he forgets what he's saying in a sentence. Do you know Ronald Reagan did that one time, almost caused a nuclear war, right? Something leaked out, whatever, and the Russians were on standby for almost a nuclear war, about to launch a nuclear missile because Ronald Reagan was absent-minded like that. You have a man 78 years old, has dementia, and he can't remember what he's saying. He can't finish a complete sentence, right? This guy got the key to the nuclear weapons and all stuff like this. So what do you think Al-Qaeda? Al-Qaeda is like, well, man, this is going to be the best thing, because one thing about Donald Trump, even though we haven't had a war whole time he was in office. Why? Because they feared him.
He's the second president since Jimmy Carter to not take us to it.
They haven't had a war. Why? Because now he made all these African and 8 Middle East countries sign a deal with Israel. Everybody except for Saudi Arabia right now in the Arab world has a relationship with Israel. Morocco just signed, said, Sudan, as hateful as Israel was, they say, something. The reason why that's happened is because this younger generation of Sudanese, Moroccans, and Arabs, right? And Trump tapped into that. These people want to go to Dubai. They don't want endless wars and everything. That was a reflection of the Al-Qaeda and all that stuff. That was a reflection of the Cold War. That generation, all those people are dying out. The younger generation, they said, look, they're looking at all these smart cities popping up all over the world. They want a better life.
Right.
In that regard, Trump was right. He told North Korea, he said, look at South Korea, you can have better. And a lot of what's holding Kim Jong-il, not so much as Trump really, is that a lot of North Koreans like, look, we're tired of eating grass. We want a better life. We want a better life. War is not the answer. And so the bottom line is this. So you got younger generation. Look what had just happened in Liberia, right? The election in Liberia.
Right, yeah.
I'm going to tell you something, right? As much as I'm going to Liberia.
It wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't from
I know, but check this out, though. The CDC, Congress of Democratic Change, right? There's an indigenous party power like that. They got voted out in many districts by their own people. Because there was this idea that you could do whatever you want and use tribalism, the American Liberians, all the stuff like that, Congo people. And this time it failed. The people turned on them. So I'm saying to myself, something's going on in the world. Where younger people, younger generations in Africa, the Middle East and everything are starting to reject a lot of this rhetoric and stuff like that. And so if you're going to talk about Pan-African everything, you better come with a modern approach, because people don't want to hear your rhetoric. They want to know if you got a plan. They want to know how their lives, you could better their lives and everything. And then, like I said, a lot of Africans on the continent love Donald Trump. They loved him. They love. They say, look, this guy. They said we wish we had a president like that. Put America first. I wish somebody would put Nigeria first. I wish somebody would put South Africa first. I wish somebody would put Sudan first. I wish somebody would put Liberia first. This idea of nationalism and nationalism, the liberals, the Marxists, the cultural Marxists made us feel that nationalism leads to war. No, it's just the opposite. Nationalism gives people boundaries, protections, right? And then when war. But when you have borderless countries, we have runaway capitalism, free markets, right? Culture, people don't know who their culture is and everything like that. People not defined by culture and everything. You're gonna have what happened when the Yugoslavia broke up. Remember that?
Right.
The cleansing and everything. There's nothing wrong with the ethnic or nation state, and a racialized nation. There's nothing wrong with that. People live in peace among their neighbors, everything like that. You know your boundaries, you know your borders, everything, and the government represents the people. But there's something that's catching on around the world, and these younger people, they're tired of conflict. They're tired of poverty. They're tired of all these things. So if we had 4 years of Donald Trump with no war, if wars breaks out under Joe Biden, right? One, I think he's going to be impeached, right? I really do.
Joe Biden?
If the Republicans take the House, and there's 106 of them say they won't recognize his presidency, because they're looking at it like this, like a lot of people, this election was stolen, right? And it's surprising how the Supreme Court went along with it and stuff like that, the voter harvesting and stuff like that. If that's the case, where some states can basically do what they do with their election, and every other state has guidelines they abide by, right? If you have an election, right, why not if you have a ballot, right, why couldn't the person get a text message or something to verify their ballot was cast? You tell me we don't have that technology, Dias? Every time you go do buy something, right? They'll ask you, do you want an email receipt or a receipt? And there's a number. Why couldn't we do that? If you're going to have mail-in voters and everything like that, why did the person have an email address that can verify that person's a real person? But because the media, and I don't really think a lot of these even Republicans are that smart. I'm looking at the people that's supposed to be leading us, the mainstream media, and I'm saying to myself, I see more intellectual discussion on Facebook.
Yeah, you're not gonna find intellectual discussions on mainstream media. It's just
these people are freaking morons.
Right.
I couldn't believe. Some stuff I couldn't believe what the hell I'm hearing. I said these are supposed to be these. Oh, I mean, I'm not. Remember before I was talking about black institutions. I'm sorry. I'm now questioning American institutions. And then it dawned on me. I heard this years ago that most journalists are not the best and brightest among us. These are people. This is why they hate people who are rich. They're not smart enough to make $1 million in Silicon Valley, like the Postnet app. Postnet is a delivery service, right? $60 billion IPO. An app on your phone. $60 billion. This is great. That means you could create an app trading with Africa. This thing's Amazon out there. You could do that. But we got to get into those discussions and have those people on and say, yeah, I made $1 million last year shipping from South Africa to Nigeria to here and stuff like that. We got to have those people. We have to have those winners. That has to be the face of Pan-Africanism. Not woe is me, woe is us, woe is us, woe is me, woe is us, woe is me, woe is us, because that's a time out for that. This is why the new black media was not effective. All black people know is the Democrats, right? And protect them from the orange man. And that's how it's going to be until we have a better plan. I do believe the Pan-African movement is the answer. When we start showcasing our wins, our success and everything, people say, oh, wow. Then now you have something political tangible to protect. That's why you have lobbyists. We need our lobbyists to protect what we're trying to build with Africa and the Caribbean. What's up, Brandon?
Go ahead, Brandon.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I usually be asleep, but tonight I can't really sleep. I'm too excited. No, but yeah. So civil rights era, BLM era, it's irrelevant now because BLM has basically uh, revealed that they are no better than the civil rights, quote unquote, civil rights leaders of, of old.
But Brandon, you know what's crazy? I called that out back in like 2016, 2017. I was attacked.
Right. So what we're seeing now is that it was the same old banana in the tailpipe trick where you have black people claiming to care about, the status or the position of black people as a whole, when really all it was an attempt, like you say, to jockey for position under, in under white supremacy. I mean, literally, it looks like, and what it is these people really just were trying to apply for jobs.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the way
Brandon, it was a bootleg job fair. Bootleg job.
exactly. If you look at what Joe Biden has done, and what's sad is these Negroes really thought that they was about to get these like real good positions, like the black lady who thought she was going to get the press secretary spot, and Joe Biden was like, "Sorry, nigga," sitting Simone Saunders. Sorry,
Yeah.
Negro bad witch.
I thought you were gonna get it too.
Bro, I knew she wasn't going to get it because
I was wrong, man.
why would a white male put a black masculine man hater in as his press secretary? Because one thing people know is, like Jamel Hill, the lady from ESPN, black women have already showed that if you do give them positions, but then you go and do something that they're emotional about, they'll call you out publicly. So that's how you know that no black woman will ever get press secretary, because black women still believe that you can operate under the foot of white supremacy freely, right? They don't understand that there's a certain level of censorship that's involved when you get those positions. They think that they could act, they believe they could operate with white men like they do with black men. And white men don't tolerate that shit. They like, we're not even gonna put you in a position to impact what we're doing. So the two black ladies who did all this work for Joe Biden, getting all these votes, they basically got relegated to positions to inconsequential positions. And I really kind of chuckled when that happened. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of like, exactly what they get, right? And then you see like Joe Biden, he's meeting with people like Al Sharpton and stuff. Once you see that kind of behavior, you know that these people are no longer, they're not interested in black progress. All they're interested in is maintaining the status quo. What, like, if you ask any black person, Michael Eric Dyson, losers like that, if you ask them,
Whoa, Michael Eric Dyson. Let's see, brother. Snoop Dogg said 1, 2, 3
nah,
to the phone.
he's a freaking loser.
I had a good day. Ice Cube, brother. See, 1, 2, 3 to the 4. Snoop Dogg. I had a good day, brother. See, like Dr. Dre said, let me ride, brother. Let me ride for the Democratic Party, man. Let me ride.
Oh no. You know the best one with him? He said Jesus is black. So he went down to Rome. He got with his peeps down to Ethiopia. Came back. The white supremacists in Rome hung him because he was trying to get the people of color in Israel. This dude, man, I'm like, yo, Lord have mercy.
Hey,
see, I'm gonna let the dogs out like DMX. See, I'm gonna let the dogs out. See, let the dogs out. See, Michael Eric Dyson, brother, you know, 1, 2, 3 into the fold. Snoop Dogg and Dogs at the door. See, we at the door. Black people got the Democratic Party because we at the door. Oh, go ahead.
Dynasty, these people, they were basically irrelevant for the past 20 years. Nobody gave a damn about Al Sharpton. Nobody cared about Michael Eric Dyson or Cornel West. Now all of a sudden they're being brought back up because these are the bug dancing Negroes that CNN brings on to go to dance in front of the camera. MSNBC brings on to dance in front of the camera whenever they need to make black people think that they're really interested in their problems. Now all Biden did was Biden literally went back to the old civil rights playbook. He was like, what you do? He said, see, I know how to handle niggas. What you got to do is you got to get a couple bump dancers up on the stage. And then they think that these people really represent them. And then these are the guys who will play ball behind the scenes. See, they take them behind the scenes. Al Sharpton say, look, nigga, give me $1.2 million to help me with my
Yep.
tax debt.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I'll say whatever you want me to say. Remember, this is the same Al Sharpton who used George Floyd's funeral as an opportunity to get his little ugly butt on stage and start capping and campaigning for the Democratic Party.
Right.
That's when someone does something like that, bro, they prove to you they are purely for sale.
Well, what about when Obama went to John Lewis's funeral, supposed to do the eulogy? The first thing he starts talking about was voting. You know,
right? Because these guys are so shameless.
The man's not even cold in the grave.
Because they're shameless. John Lewis, Obama, Al Sharpton, Cornel West, Michael Eric Dyson. If you hear these people's names, you should run for the hills, because these people, like, where are all the strong black men and women who really are, in the paint? You know what I'm saying? Like, they really say what needs to be said. Like, I like Angela Stanton. I'm not a super Candace. I'm not a super huge Candace Owens fan, but I do understand that some of Candace Owens' talking points are, beneficial to black people. They legitimate, and they speak towards issues that black people need to solve. Those people are pushed out, while people like Ocasio-Cortez, extreme liberals, Ilhan Omar, are being corralled in and welcomed into the fold of democracy. So, I'm not trying to make this political, but in reality, black people already are having buyer's remorse. BLM and all these different people who supported Joe Biden, they're already talking about how he's no longer answering their phone calls. They're literally at the point where they're having to write strongly worded letters and send them to the White House in hopes that this dude actually looks at something they have to say and responds to it. Now you had this guy on speed dial when you was campaigning for him, but now you got to write letters so that you can, so that you'll even have a chance for him to hear what you have to say. It's like we got played. Yeah. And when the black men stood up and tried to tell people like me, Dynas, you, Kala, we tried to stand up and just out of the love of our heart, right? When we stood up and tried to tell our people, look, we know it looks like this, but this is what it actually is. Do not let these people deceive you. Our people were like, yo, you guys are just hating Joe Biden. It's too important. Now things are too dangerous, for us to vote against Biden. And now we literally went from voting for the guy who was promoting vaccines and lockdowns to now complaining about vaccines and lockdowns. Like, we literally did that. And I'm like, is there some type of blip or malfunction in the collective consciousness to where we can continuously look and know what's best for us and go totally against our best interest and dive headlong into self-destruction? Like, no longer, now we're at the point where we're like, yo, we told you so. And we're not even saying we told you so. We're just still trying to, beseech you to analyze the information that's available to all of us. But
Brandon,
if you guys are like me, you're still getting pushback.
What do you think about the fact? My argument was that I saw this coming a couple of years ago, right? When they started recruiting black rappers. So before, remember, so black people used to be apolitical. Only time we had black people in hip hoppers and politics was Diddy's Vote or Die, and that wasn't even black specific. That was a hip hop vote. That means young people, everybody, whatever like that, the hip hop vote, right? This election, since Obama came in office, right? He was the first social media president. Before Obama, there was no social media commentator. They did not exist. I was there. I was like one of the first ones with Blog Talk Radio and stuff like that. There was nobody existed, right? Umar Johnson came after Obama got elected. He was basically a critic of Barack Obama. That's how he rose, right? Barack Obama wasn't really vetted. Now that for the longest time, rappers and everything tried to ignore politics, right? Because they thought politics was divisive to their white audience, right? Now what you had was with BLM and all these other people, and Will I Am and people like that, right? They created this sort of leftist utopia with the LGBTQ, the feminists, younger voters, pot smokers, and all this stuff like
Kala,
that. All
Kala, now that Joe Biden has been elected, do you realize that there's radio silence from all these celebrities and stuff?
of
You don't
course,
even hear them talking.
they don't
They're
talk
not going to
about
come out.
anymore. No, of course
They're
not.
not going to. They're not going to come out and talk about the shit that Joe Biden is already starting to enact and try to do. They're done. They got their paychecks. Their
They got
job
their
is done.
Right. We got
And
Black Card got played.
Well, yeah, 1 second, guys. Guys, hit that like button again. Please hit the like button again. Hit that like button, or Colin's going to sing the like song. Willie Fungo, go ahead, Willie.
Yeah, the key problem here is that Black America is a very weak group of people. In any normal ethnic group, the reaction to oppression and mistreatment by the wider society is nationalism. Black America just wants more integration. That is a completely unnatural situation. If you look at Nigeria, for example, the Igbo people have organized themselves into something called IPOB, which is a nationalist group. If you look at Ethiopia, they're fighting a war over nationalism. Every tribe, every ethnic group feels that they deserve their own space to rule themselves. Black America is not like that. And ultimately, I think that
let me say, Willie.
that is some residual.
Let him finish, Colin. Go, say that again, Willie.
That might be some residual effect of slavery. Slavery has never been a physical thing. It's a mental thing. No, it's a mental thing. It is absolutely 100% a mental thing. The way it is done is the captor creates a codependency between them and the slave, to where the slave cannot see themselves as an entity aside from the captor, almost like Stockholm syndrome.
Let me say something. We stop right there. That is the white version. We've been resisting slavery since we got here. There was black community.
Well, Dr. Amos Wilson said it the best.
He
said that
we got here.
Dr. Amos Wilson said that there are many black people who just have, a Eurocentric possession. You know what I mean? And I believe his assessment was the most accurate. Like, we have people who only can see I don't even think it's like that we're weak or anything like that. I believe that we have black people who can only see themselves through a Eurocentric perspective. Do you realize that our people didn't sell us out because they were weak. Our people sold us out because they want positions that the white man has told them, this is what you should aspire to be.
We can't just scapegoat it all on the leadership. If the common man on the street wanted some sort of independence from white America, he would have it. The problem
is Willie, Willie, black people, hold on, Colin. Black people are following other black people. That's what you have to understand, first of all. It's not a white man walking into these neighborhoods, knocking on these doors saying, go vote for Joe Biden. It's black leadership, bro. Simone Sanders, what's the fat one? Stacey Abrams. These are black people who got hundreds of thousands of black people to go vote for Joe Biden, even though those black people were like, oh, I don't know if I should vote for him. So you can't say that they're like, wait, hold on. You can't say that the average black person, if they had any inkling of independence, no. Black leadership went to these people and said, I know Joe Biden has done a lot of effed up stuff to black people, but this is why we believe you should vote for him. Right or wrong, Dinus?
Willie, hold on, Willie. Kala, then we'll go back to you, Willie. Go ahead, Kala.
Willie, you gotta understand something, right? From day one, right? Those of us from New York knew Donald Trump. If you have a news cycle 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, calling Donald Trump a racist, he's gonna do this stuff like that. Black people began to believe it, and you can't just put that on black people, because a lot of white people who voted for Joe Biden believe it too. A lot of white people thought he was a racist, and we got to get rid of him. Joe Biden is completely incompetent and not qualified to hold office, right? But the thing is, if you got the mainstream media, if you got Al Sharpton, if you got Barack Obama and all stuff like that, black people are only human. You're being too hard on black people. That's what they were told. That, he was a racist. All Trump's accomplishments, the media didn't cover.
Look, bro, Trump probably is a racist.
So why are you being so hard on
they're both racist. That's not even an issue.
Hold on. No, the bottom line is this. Black people in this country, right? They've been in this country. Our ancestors built this country. We built this country. We fought in every war and everything like that. You can't just make us seem like we're just this people that just here. Because if that's the case, then why are Nigerians and all these people trying to come here? You know, they're trying to come here and everything like that. So you gotta show a little bit more respect, man.
How are we weak with a large number of?
Let me speak. Not really about Trump versus Biden. They're both old white racist men. I'm surprised you guys don't get that. I've been seeing a lot of caping for Trump, and I mean, I supported him nominally, but now that he's lost, fuck Trump. Who cares? He wasn't our savior. Now back to my point. Back to my point. The issue is not the Democrats or the Republicans, Biden or Trump. The issue is that black people are basically an alien race within a white society, a white country, and that will never work. That's the key issue. Like we can have covert racism, which is the Democrats, or we can have overt racism, which is.
But let me say, Willie. Let me say something.
At the end of the day, it's still racism.
Hold on. Let me say something. Black people. That was the case. In black people have been here for 400 years, right? And still, despite all the problems that you say, are still the most successful group of black people on the planet. We have the most.
That's not true.
Oh, hold on. Name me the Nigerian almanac. You don't have one.
An almanac? Are you kidding me?
I don't even know what that
is that your barometer of success? An almanac?
Yeah, it's success. You did something. You showed me you did something.
An almanac.
Where's the Nigerian?
Are you
kidding me?
Look. Wait, hold on. Listen, guys. Listen. What you have to understand.
Who built the Ethiopian Airlines? What are you talking about, bro?
Hold on, real quick.
That's from Ethiopia. What is that?
Listen, guys. America. Listen, guys. Here's the thing. You have to understand something. When we say, "Oh, black people are this and black people are that," and we speak in these general terms, what we're doing is we're ignoring the fact that there was a great number of black people who are like, yo, screw Joe Biden. We need to vote for Trump so that we can gain some type of financial or economic independence.
Bro,
if you look at wait, hold on, Willie, I'll let you talk. Willie, I'll let you talk. Hold on. Listen, so when you look at that, you saw a lot of black people were like, fuck Biden and F Trump too, right? But a lot of black people were like, yo, we need to vote for this because this is in our best economic interest. So that proves to me that there is an awakening of black people, and I believe primarily black males, who understand we have to stop trying to put ourselves in a position where we're looking for handouts from white men, but where we can actually just operate freely. And that was a part of the reason why a lot of black men supported Trump, because we didn't care about what Trump did. We just wanted the guy not to lock down the country, not to do lockdowns, not to force vaccines, so we can continue to do. So we can continue, right? So we can continue to do what we wanted to do. There were many of us who did that. But what I'm telling you is the number one, we would have taken the day. We black men would have taken the mantle of leadership in the black political arena if it had not been for certain boule buck dancing coons who were operating on behalf of white supremacy and on behalf of the Democratic Party.
When we were putting it, Trump is not our savior.
Listen, yo, bro, if you keep on, hold on, wait, Kala, hold on. You keep on, see, this is the disconnect with you right here in most Nigerians. You keep on focusing on me saying that I'm doing something for Trump when I'm telling you it had nothing to do with Trump, the white man, and what he was going to do or not do for black people. Why black men supported him. If you were a black man, you would understand that. You speak about Nigerians and how they do this and do that. One of the reasons Igbos can even do anything they do is because the Nigerian government allows them the room to do what they want to do economically. So what? Anyway, so bro, please.
It's the opposite.
You're not listening. You're not listening. You're just listen. You're not letting me finish, and you're not listening. You're just trying to respond. The reason why in Africa, where I'm at right now, you can do a lot of things that you can't do in America is because the government is not putting a freaking thumb on your neck and keeping you from doing it. What black men and people who were smart in America who voted for Trump were doing was they were saying, look, we know these white dudes ain't going to do nothing for us. But one of them is going to take a non-interference policy. He's not going to disturb anything we're trying to do. And that's why we supported that person. Not because we're capable for him, not because we like him, not because we think he's going to save us, but because he's going to leave us to our own devices, which Trump was saying. Trump was saying that. I just want to make a good environment for business. Less regulation. That's why airlines. I could fly. Bro, we can fly on the airplane.
Africa, I'm gonna leave Africa alone. And I was like, wow.
That was a good thing for me. So you can go ahead and be like, well, you're doing this. But guess what, brother? Here's the thing. A white man can eradicate your whole existence right now. A click of his finger. You can admit that, or you could say, yo, that's not true, whatever. What we want is just leave us alone. So if there's a president who's like, look, nigga, I don't care about you one way or another one. Go do what you want to do. That's who I'm going to support because I just need to be left alone so I can grow, so I can build. I ain't capping for nobody. I'm in Africa right now purchasing land. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing while you're telling me that I'm capping for a white man? See, because the proof is in the pudding. And guess what? I told you to vote for Trump so I could get on airplanes without getting vaccines. Black folks went ahead and voted against what's best for us. Guess what? I'm still doing what I'm doing. But I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like a bunch of our people didn't get misled by black leadership, quote unquote, and go in and vote for some stupidity.
I mean, are you worried about the lockdowns and the vaccine? Is that the issue?
Hold up, Will.
Because
Will, hold up. The topic is black leadership with the vaccine. We can't comment like that, but the topic is civil rights leader, and we're talking.
Okay, well, what I'm telling you is that the problem is black culture, not black leadership.
You answer me. Let me finish what I'm saying. All right, you know you like making these ad hominem straw man attacks. I did not say what you're about to say. What I'm saying is this: there's a new paradigm. I think this is going to be the last time any of these so-called celebrities, these civil rights, this is a blurred line. These celebrities, these civil rights people are going to have any influence on black people. Because why? Because social media is already starting to roast people Biden support. No one's coming out like you like fools, right? Because there was people out there, yes, Biden, Harris, right? Social media, right? The conversations over the next 6-7 months, right, is going to blur. When Biden starts making these stumps and he basically starts talking down to black people and stuff like that, it's going to be over. There's nothing Al Sharpton and any people can ever say to Black America again. So this could be in just what we needed. You know?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that 100%. Like I listened to Tariq Nasheed's show last night, and he was
there goes your first problem right there.
Well, no, he was talking about how Biden was basically.
But the problem is he's doing what you're doing, just talking. He's doing what you're doing. He's just talking. Let me and you as a black man, hold on. You as a black man need to get off the shit where you're over here absorbing these dudes who are just talking and start trying to get in league with some men, some real men who are actually making moves, bro. Because you guys get on these, go listen to all this stuff, absorb all this crap, then jump on these platforms and start spewing this garbage as if what you're saying.
Okay.
No, I'm not making no assumptions. I'm not making no assumptions. I'm going off what you're doing.
He was talking about how Biden was basically pimp slapping black leadership.
And who gives a shit? You just said it don't matter. Didn't you just say this shit doesn't matter? You just said it doesn't matter. You just said they're both racist white men. It doesn't matter. They hate blacks. So why now are you talking about Joe Biden pimp slapping black leadership? Didn't we already agree that it doesn't matter because they're all racist? What's the next step? What's the next step?
The point is that black people are finally starting to see that. That's the point.
Oh man, how many times has that been repeated? Black people been saw that. Black people know very well what's going on wrong with them.
Seen that. What are you talking about?
Black people know very well what's going wrong with them. The problem is you have other black people who every 4 years say, look, black people, we know a lot's going on with you. Don't worry about that right now. We are in too dangerous of times to focus on what's going on wrong with us. And what I'm trying to say is real black men, it's like Kevin Samuels. This guy's been popular right now. This guy's been popular, Kevin Samuels. He's popular. Why? Because he just tells people the truth straight up. He doesn't focus. He ain't talking about Biden. He ain't talking about none of this shit. He ain't talking about Trump. He's talking about how black men and black women can maintain and gain healthy relationships. So we got to learn to focus on one damn thing at a time. When you start teaching about, well, black people are starting to finally realize all you're doing is making an effort in futility or in obscure logic and intellectualism. You're not actually pointing out an issue and then making a plan to solve that. All you're doing is pointing out issues and problems in our community and then telling us, oh, you guys are just caping for this person. Actually, we're caping for strategic. We are caping for issues.
We have no allies either in white politics.
And we didn't know that. Willie, one day you're going to tell us something we don't know. One day you're going to come on here and tell us something we don't know.
Bro, listen, I'm not saying that you don't know that, but the vast majority of black people don't.
No. The majority of black people do. Now, what's your plan to fix it?
Yeah, the bottom line is
because I'm honestly sick. I'm sick of honestly, Willie. I'm sick of people like you jumping on these platforms. I just went in on a bunch of people. You go watch my channel. I just went in on a bunch of people. I'm sick of people getting on here thinking that they're intelligent because they could point out problems. My damn daughter's 11. She could point out the shit that's wrong with black people. That's how acute it is. Now we're men. You got a penis between your legs. That means you need to be going on problem solving, not problem observation and analysis. We're done with that. So me and Kyle are here talking about, yo, BLM, this stuff is irrelevant now, and here's what you need to be focused on now.
Yeah, like I said,
bro, what you're doing any different than what I'm doing? Just drop the ad hominem shit.
Let me say this, Willie.
Okay.
Let me say this.
I'm here.
The BLM and all the stuff like ADOS was
is that a white girl? That's
okay.
Dinus is having a whole conversation.
I heard a snow bunny.
Okay. Check out BLM, stuff like that is just a smoke screen. What's going on is, like I talked about for a couple of weeks, he just got back from Tanzania, made a big plug down. He did a tour in Tanzania, world-class tour. He's doing the thing. His community in Ghana and stuff like that, Several other people that I'm connected. My plan is to be on the continent next month. I'm ready to go on the continent myself. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff in Liberia, next month, right? So the bottom line is this hasn't stopped. I've been on this journey for a long time, and but we as black people in America, right? Instead of Africa and building Africa being our goal, our end game, our manifest destiny, right? This is always talks about manifest destiny. The white man has a manifest destiny. His manifest destiny from day one when he landed shore was sea to shining sea, conquering everything in between. Sea to shining sea. That's it. The black man's manifest destiny was always returning to our ancestral homeland and building our culture. If we're not doing that, then we have the manifest destiny. What you're saying, Willie, is we're trapped in America. We're like this. You said the Evos. We don't have space. There's no black space in America. There's not one square inch of America that we have jurisdiction to have sovereignty over. There's nothing. You look at the Monroe Doctrine. Everything in America, from the sea to shining sea, is controlled by America. So you think you're going to rise up inside of America, and you think you're going to carve out a several state or have an autonomous
nationalism
zone?
Doesn't require land.
Oh, no.
It's all about the cultural cohesion between people.
Go away.
Man, look, Willie, you talking this. You sound like my friends over here, my friends in America who are like Black Power revolutionaries and all that stuff. Oh, we got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do that. And then I say, well, bro, let's go to Africa. Let's go do this. They're like, bro, I'm trying to get mine right here because this is,
Bro, I'm not,
it's like this, bro.
I'm down with the back to Africa thing, but I'm just saying, like, nationalism doesn't necessarily.
We're going forward.
But you're not saying anything actually. That's the whole point. You're not really saying anything. All you're doing is talking about theoretical bullshit that it can be proven or disproven. It's not really
okay. Well,
accurate.
what are you saying that's so groundbreaking?
What I'm saying is this. Right now, Black folks need to stop focusing on things that they do not control. I look at the internet. I look at everything that's going on. You got people worried about beyond basketball and sports and dumb shit. Coronavirus vaccines. You know what I'm saying? They're worried about lockdowns. They're worried about all this type of stuff. What I'm saying is, look, you voted for these things. You voted for the guy who supported all this stuff, right? So that's fine. Now, if you're a person who has some type of Africa plan, that thing needs to be accelerated at this point. Look, I'm not going to talk about what I've done and all that, but I've delivered on a promise that I made to some people. I've delivered on that. I've been in freaking Kenya damn near a month. I've accelerated my plan. You think I planned on being here a whole month? No, but I said, look, bro, this is not looking good from the perspective from which I'm looking at it. It's looking bad. It's looking like they're just setting up for more bull crap. So everybody needs to stop worrying about, Black people collectively feel like they have Stockholm syndrome and all that stuff. We get it. We like it. Sounds nice, right? Now there has to be plans of action. Willie, there are people, as hard as it may be to believe, I'm sure there are people who actually follow you and think you're smart and want to go forward with whatever you think.
Bro,
it's beyond the time of us intellectualizing.
Look, bro,
it's beyond the fact.
Black Americans have Stockholm syndrome.
It's beyond the point of intellectualizing. Willie,
that is a fact.
Willie,
who it or not? Doesn't
okay, wait. Dinus, can I ask you a question, Dinus? Dinus, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
How long have we known that Black people have Stockholm syndrome? How long have we been talking about that?
Years.
Colin, how long have we been talking about that?
All life.
Okay, I think we get it. Why? Now you guys answer a question. Dinus, you first. Colin, you second. Dinus, why are people still getting on these platforms, still talking about this shit with no plan of action whatsoever?
I think because it's I don't even know. Like I don't know. I think it's because I think because it's a credible response to what's going on. I mean, it's
I mean, you're just trying to deflect the point of the show and what you guys were discussing right before I came on was the problems in Black America. As soon as I start talking about it, you become defensive and refuse to.
Willie, no, you said that against me last time, right? And I had to
because it's true. Look, bro, there's nothing I'm saying that you haven't said worse. I know that coming from an outsider, it can be more offensive. I get that.
Don't make it seem like if you're Black, if you're really Black, show me a face. You verified you're Black, but not. You could talk about Black people or not, And I have criticism for Black people. I'll say that in a million years. What I am saying is this though, when you're looking at it from a white person's player, that's how white people look at it. It's like, oh, those people, you people, this and that. I say Black people like I'm talking about myself, like Brandon. We have things we do. That's myself. When those people you criticize, that's me. So when I talk, I'm talking about myself. But your tone is you're talking like, oh, them. That's like, oh, I'm not one of them. Those people. Let me give those people. Like Black people are not stupid, right?
I get it. I understand why you.
Hold on. We're not stupid. We're not a monolith, right? You don't know what goes into people's minds when they vote and everything. I don't know. I can't tell you what they like that. Black people are very emotional, right? We've been basically this. Let me tell you something. Well, let me tell you like it is, right? Let me tell you like this, right? The soul of America rests with Black people. America, when Black people give up on America, this country will die. The civil rights movement, the music, everything is Black America. Even the old idea of America, you always got to have who's the most revered American in history? Martin Luther King. So basically, the burden of carrying America and carrying everybody else, we're burdened by a country that we don't benefit from. You see what I'm talking about? All you people that came over here, you immigrants and everything like that, you came here because of our struggle, our commitment to civil rights, our commitment to integration, our commitment to a colorblind world, and that has not benefited us, right? So therefore, if you want us to do the thing and become nationalists, we'll say forget civil rights. That's what the show about tonight. Black people, basically, I think there's going to be a revolution in Black America. And then who's going to be the next civil rights group? Who's going to be the next? Is the Nigerians going to step into our role in America? No.
Hell no.
You know
Hell no.
No, they're not going to step into our role.
Colin, we're burdened with a bunch of people who feel like they're qualified to lecture Black people, Black Americans, but don't actually want to put any plans in action to fix the problem. That is what we're burdened by. Willie, Willie, whoever. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. I've been in Africa. I know a lot of Africans. I know a lot of Nigerians. There's no group of Black people on earth who can actually try to lecture Black Americans. I'm telling you that right now. Okay. If I could wait, why would you jump in the middle of what I'm saying? Bro, Willie, I can get you taken out of Nigeria for like $200. Don't tell me Black Americans got problems. I'm not threatening you. What I'm saying, bro, I'm not threatening you. What I'm saying is that's the conditions of the people who you're trying to say are better off than Black Americans. Okay, people are saying, no. I'm making a point and you can make yours after me. Stop trying to compare Black Americans to other Black groups in the diaspora, because when it comes to achievement and things like that, we are outpacing the pack by a lot. You go into these countries, you can paint a rosy, hold on, Colin, you can paint a rosy picture all you want to, just like this girl. When I was over in Mombasa, she tried to clown me and say, oh, I speak 3 languages. You only speak 1. I said, well, yeah, that's because a white man came in and made it illegal for you to even speak your own tribal language. And so you got forced to speak English. So and guess what? You're still broke with no money and not a pot to piss in and was begging me for $2, right? So all these things that they try to lord over Black Americans, damn, soon as we come through, everybody's asking us to open up the checkbook. Everybody's asking us to open up the wallet. So how bad can we really be?
We don't even have 24/7 electricity in Nigeria. The only reason why I don't talk mad shit.
But you bringing up Igbos.
The only reason why I don't talk mad shit about Nigeria is because it's out of respect for Dynas, because he doesn't like that. But I would roast the fuck out of Nigeria. When I'm going back to Africa, I'm not even going to Nigeria. I'm going to Rwanda.
Be constructive. Why do we?
Because look, we have so many problems. Like sugarcoating this does not help.
Will, let me ask you a question. Right?
Nigeria is a shithole. I'll be the first one to admit that.
Damn.
It's a shithole. The country is fucking terrible.
Hold on. Let me say something, bro. I had this conversation, like I said, my Saturday's busy. I had like 8 people call me, hour conversation, all my Pan-African family, I did. My work is done for the year, so I got plenty of time on my hands. So anyway, we were talking, how is it that Asians have all these conflicts with each other, but they managed from the Bandung Conference in 1955, right, to catch up to the West and pass the West, countries like Singapore. They're now building virtual cities like in South Korea that's going to house the next educated class from all over Asia. So you're going to have Pan-Asian city-states all out Asia, Singaporeans, Taiwanese, everything like that. You have a situation where the Black race, right, the Africans and the Black man in the world, right, we're so freaking against each other, right? Echo Atlantic, right, been there since 2003. It's only one building up, right? Around the same time, Dubai, right? Hold on. 2003. Why didn't Nigeria say we're gonna reach out to all the Black colleges in America, in the Caribbean, right, Virgin Islands, Ghana, and everything, and pull the engineering and architectural base together? But we're gonna have our own architects and everything. What if that was the thing right now? Imagine how thriving we would be right now with Echo Atlantic, a city-state like Dubai. But we didn't do that. We sit here on these platforms going back and forth and everything, and I'm tired of it. Really, I am.
I mean, look, I don't take any of this stuff personal. Like when Art Cathy was talking shit about Africans, I think that this is
joke, man. You can't come on here joking and clowning, man.
It's not us not joking. Like Black people, we have a massive internal problem that we have to address.
Well, the bottom line,
people are addressing it. That's the whole point. We're not.
Do something.
But you gotta address it with action, bro. I can't be like, yo, you got cancer. Let's sit up and send you to a psychologist. No, you get cancer, you gotta go do aggressive physical treatment to deal with that. So guess what? You're like, yo, we want to stay on the analytical part. We on some shit like, nah, it's time to actually start moving towards physically moving towards a solution. This is why I'm away from my family. I'm in Kenya right now for a whole month. You think I'm here because I'm just like, yo, I just want to take a vacation after I was just here last month? I was just here last month. And then came and stayed again for damn near a whole month. That's because I'm making moves, trying to make shit happen. If you get on this thing saying, look, y'all, this is something that we can do. I'm already in the works. You're Nigerian. Why don't you go over there and secure something for us in Nigeria? You know what I'm saying?
I've got plans in place. I'm on my way to Rwanda next year. As soon as
coronavirus is over, you need to be on your way to Rwanda like next week, not next year. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say, look,
I'm going to take the vaccine.
Well, go ahead and take it. But what I'm telling you is, if you take it or whatever or not, who cares? What I'm saying is, I was like, yo, I just landed, just came back from Kenya. Was like, you know what, damn, there's some things I needed to do that I couldn't get done. I said, damn, told my wife, I said straight up, yo, you mind if I go back to Kenya? I even asked my daughter, you mind if dad goes back to Kenya, misses Thanksgiving and all this crap? And they were like, no, you gotta do what you gotta do. Boom, I'm back. All this next year, next month, next year. You don't say, I'm going to jump on Dinah's channel next year and talk about Black people having Stockholm Syndrome. You need to replace the energy you have for analyzing and pointing out problems. You need to change that. You need to have that same energy for making shit happen, bro. For making shit happen.
Do you even know anything about me? You don't. So
don't know.
Don't know on that, because you don't know what I've got in place. I mean, we can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. I don't see what's the big deal with talking about certain issues, and I've got my own plans in place, as do you, and as does Kala. So I think we need to move away from this lecturing and trying to say, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Lecturing
is the tone. The right bottom line is this.
Who was lecturing?
We're not lecturing.
He got on here lecturing. You got on here lecturing, Willie. Now you talking about we need to move.
You personally, I was talking about a general problem.
Don't lecture anybody.
Bro, look, man, you can't censor what I say. This is the way I communicate. If you don't like it, sorry, but y'all don't really do much different. So I mean, you really want to talk because y'all are the exact same way.
Willie, the problem is this, right? You keep talking about Black America like it's a monolith, right? There's 45 million people with different backgrounds and everything. Every time I go to a group of Black people, right, I don't automatically say, yo, blah, 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 blah. I first find out what is on their mind and everything. And I gradually ease them into what I'm talking about. And then what happens is, brother, we hit it off. Oh, yeah, man, I read such and such. Okay.
Telegenesis, you have said more offensive shit than I have. So you really want to talk.
Hold on. Well, no, what I'm saying is this, though. You got to be mindful. Just like you don't go to Japanese America, like Chinese don't vote at all, right? Or Chinese vote a certain way, you know, or Asians vote a certain way, or whatever like that. You know, there's no Asians really in the Senate, or there'll never be an Asian president, everything like that. But Asians are well taken care of as far as like economically. They don't have institutions like we do and everything. But nobody ever gets on them and says, you Asians ought to do this. Well, first of all, Asians broken up into several countries. They got background. Even the Chinese community is diverse. You know, even in California, they said there's different cultures in Northern California, Southern California Asians. You know, and so there's a fusion, but there's nuance. You give Black people no nuance. You just said 45 million people are stupid. You don't do blah blah blah. And I just think Black people in America, right? In order for them to think differently, we got to stop criticizing them, right? If you talk to people like you got respect for them, right? Maybe they'll think a little differently. Maybe, yeah, you know something? He was right. Let me look at something else. Maybe I should have voted for Trump. Maybe we'll do it next time. But when you just come at them like you're stupid, you're dumb, and all stuff like this and whatnot, you know, from that standpoint, they're going to reject you.
Man, look, all I know is Black Lives Matter, civil rights era leadership is totally obsolete at this point.
Yeah.
The fact that you have black people still actually allowing who is talking to Al Sharpton, oh, they're gonna put a black woman in a position. Like let me ask y'all a question. Back on the subject. Simone Sanders was the shoe in for the press secretary position. When Joe Biden decided that he was going to give that position to a lily white, Becky, right? Where was Kamala Harris, the black champion of black people, to say, no, Biden, you know that this girl, you could tell when Simone Sanders was talking about her getting that position on that little council or whatever, you could hear it all in her voice that she was totally heartbroken because
Of course.
everybody thought she was going to get the position and they thought it was between two black women. Why didn't our black savior, Kamala Harris, go in and say, Joe, I'm
And
sorry, but you got to put this black.
Where's Michael Eric Dyson? Michael Eric Dyson said that appointing a black man for Secretary of Defense, which means more warfare in Africa, that's coming. Get used to
Right.
it, you know. I said so. That's warfare. They're gonna justify. Well, we got black Secretary of Defense. So what? We had to bomb Ethiopia. So what? We had to bomb Sudan. So what? We had to invade Zimbabwe.
But where's Kamala Harris to speak?
Kamala
Listen, the
Harris
reason
is
why I
not a
brought
black woman. She's an Indian racist and mixed with a coolie racist. That's
okay, but we're saying, because you have a lot of black women and stuff who was like Black Girl Magic and all that stuff. Where was Kamala Harris to defend the fellow black woman who was basically Michelle Obama robbed for that spot? She was robbed. She was robbed by a white woman no one had even heard of. They weren't even talking about this white woman. And let me tell you, when things come out, I bet you this is like the cousin or daughter of somebody that Biden is either related to or he's cool with.
The elephant in the room is this. Did you see Joe Biden's brother? This guy's an outright criminal. He looks just like Joe Biden. If they come to arrest Joe Biden, they could put Joe Biden's brother up there and whatnot. You would know the difference. They look just alike. Hunter Biden under investigation for 2 years. The mainstream media covered that up and everything. And black people are going to jail left and right over petty crimes. But Hunter Biden, but that's okay with you. He just that's a white boy privilege, a rich white boy privilege. He can do things out in the open, have it on things. The attorney general's too scared to arrest him, And you are okay with this? And then he brings back all Obama's administration people, Susan Rice and all these other people. Susan Rice gave us the Rwanda massacre, if you don't remember. Well, I'll put that on record. She gave us a Rwanda massacre. Benghazi, all these other things that happened and whatnot, the Arab uprising, the Arab Spring, all these things. Obama people are coming back in and whatnot, and they going to basically.
Here's another one. Call it Mayor Bottoms, Keisha Last Bottoms. They offered her like to be ambassador to like some little island in the Caribbean. I forgot which. Island.
Yeah, she on.
They're getting hip slap, but it's a good thing because it's waking people up. I'm seeing liberals that used to be down with all this crap finally getting the message. So it's all a good thing as far as
until we know it.
Bro, people
hate those white.
Hey, people, listen, people are not waking up, bro. If you look at it, it's actually a repeat. Listen, it's like the movie The Matrix. Neo thought he was gonna save the fucking Zion. It actually had happened 6 times. It had been destroyed 6 times.
I just think
that's the same thing with black. That's the same thing with right. That's the way it's set up in America because every so often they just give you a couple of new faces and people say, "Oh, it's gonna be different this time." Your new faces were Stacey Abrams. Your new faces were people like Simone Sanders. This is the new generation of bug dancers. Look what Bloomberg. Hold on, real quick. Look what Bloomberg News said, November 20th. Biden is set to undo the Trump years with a civil rights pivot. So basically, what the white man has told us is, y'all talk about all this stuff y'all want, etc. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys back to civil rights. How many black people will honestly say, yo, what I want the president to focus on now, again, is civil rights?
That's why I said that, Brandon. I said,
well, here's the difference.
Hold on. We just got a reset back to 1964. We're still talking about police brutality. We're back in. I wasn't even born in.
They're calling us people of color again.
No. The bottom line is this. The only thing that's going to stop all this, right, if black people start getting serious about these sort of platforms, because it's not going nowhere.
Well, yeah, here's a difference. Social media is what makes this time different than the times before. Because, like, if you look at, like, the Generation Z, the really young people on TikTok, they're getting very woke compared to older generations. So
Yeah,
I
they
think
they were the main ones out there. And see, the whole thing.
but they also noticed the game that was played. They noticed that the white people protesting in BLM are the same white people that, are calling the police on them, are, discriminating against them at work and all that shit. And the disconnect.
Hold on, let me say this. Let me say this, though, right? That did not matter. Why? Because they had they knew the powers that be knew that, right? Right. So what they did was they created a whole bunch of mail-in ballots and stuff like that. Said we're going to neutralize that because there was a large number of blacks that went to Trump, right? So we're going to create all this stuff like this confusion, make you hate Trump to the point we can get away. The only reason why they can get away with this election still, right, is because they have you convinced that Trump's such a racist. We got to get rid of Orange Man and things are going to come back to normal. And then not only that, not just black people, right? They've convinced a number of white people. There's a lot of white people who are like, I just want Trump to go away. And because things will go back to normal. See, because let me tell you, so here's how the white man always wins, right? They said when war comes down to it, I don't care about war, Biden is still white. When they see Biden, Hunter, and when it really comes down to it, to the racist mind, they just see a white family in the White House.
Man, all they look at is Biden is going to bring things back to the middle. And as long as things stay in the middle, white people stay on top. White people stay on top.
People can stay in their place, stay in there and placated and pacified. That's all. That's all they want.
All this shit is just like a Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco plays for the Baltimore Ravens. Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl just managing the game. He didn't do nothing crazy. He wasn't allowed to make no decisions. All they said is go in there and don't fuck nothing up. That's what Joe Biden represents. Joe Biden is Joe Flacco. He's not going to impress you with his words. All he's going to do is go in there and install everything for 4 years so that the businesses can feel confident enough to invest. People can feel confident enough to invest in the stock market while all the small businesses get destroyed. Okay. So when you just talk about, like, we have states like Alabama and stuff where we have a ton of black small businesses. These businesses are going to be in major trouble because now they're talking about vaccines and everything. The general public ain't cool with a vaccine. So when the people make it clear, we're not going to take the vaccine, then they're going to start saying, well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to lock them down until they agree to take a vaccine. All I'm saying is this: screw Trump, screw Biden. We have created a perfect storm. We have created a situation where they can starve us until we agree to do what they want us to do.
If a politician rise up against them, they can harvest ballots and get rid of them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, that's true.
This is what you're living in right now. There's no more America anymore. America, whatever, like that's done. We need to create our own America or whatever, Afghanistan, whatever. It's done.
Trump got rid of all the boogeymen. He proved that Russia wasn't like trying to destroy the United States. He got Kim Jong-il to shut the hell up. Trump got rid of all the boogeymen. All they did
to the peace table. He did
right. So what they did was they created a new boogeyman, which is called COVID-19. And now we are and let me tell you something, what they do. They use stuff like this to actually do covert racism on people because they're already talking about black people are more susceptible. Yep. So who do you think are going to be the first people that are encouraged to take the vaccine? Who do you think are going to be the first people forced to take it because they're going to say, we're going to cut off your welfare, your food stamps, your Section 8 if you don't take this in California? See, most of the white folks and stuff that's on welfare and food stamps and Section 8 are in like redneck country, red states where they're going to try to resist this stuff. We're in blue states dependent on the government that clearly is showing you they don't give a shit. Do you think these governments care when they let people be homeless on the streets by the thousands? They've already proven to us, Gavin Newsom and all these people, they've proven to us that they don't give a damn. So what I'm saying is this: we could talk about Trump, we could talk about Biden, we could talk about whatever. What we need to be talking about is how, just like Ice Cube said, black folks get mistreated because we ain't got no money. We have no money to take this stuff to court. We have no money to be like, yo, we need to fight against this. Nothing. We have no money to pay off doctors to say, yo, we administered the vaccine when really all they did was inject us with saline solution. None of that. But we're still talking about how if a person says, yo, I'm just going to vote for the guy who allows me to generate generational wealth unimpeded. Suddenly you're caping for Trump. Suddenly you're caping for a white man. No, I'm caping for black folks. I'm caping for black folks to have the freedom to do what we got to do, while other people are caping for black folks to put themselves in shackles financially so then they can continue to complain. And I'm telling you, while we're doing that, I just was talking about this the other day. While we're talking about black people got this, black people that are, somehow everyone's still getting rich off black people. For as dysfunctional as we are, everyone, even Africans, are still on YouTube getting paid off of black dollars. I realize I can't even send a super chat from Kenya. So how the hell are Kenyan YouTubers making thousands of dollars off super chats? That's coming from us.
Right, one second, Colin. Guys, hit that like button. Hold on, Colin. Hold on. Guys, hit that like button. Please hit the like button as you come to the chat room. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you share the content as well. Please share the content. Hey, Willie, brother, we appreciate you coming on, okay?
All right, peace.
Dynast, you cannot send a super chat from Kenya. I'm in Kenya right now. I tried to super chat you $20. I cannot super chat you.
All the money.
Wait, hold on, Colin. If you cannot send a super chat from Kenya on YouTube, you cannot send a cash app from Kenya on YouTube. Why are there people in Kenya and all these countries where you can't even send a super chat or a cash app? How are these people making all this money on YouTube? They're making it from black Americans.
Right.
Their people can't even send them this shit on YouTube. How are they doing it, Dynast?
Brandon, let me say something else, right? Do you know there's no monetization of content in Africa, you know what I'm saying, of YouTube? None. The monetization comes from where the markets are, where the algorithms are. That's only in America. So if you have a YouTube channel in Africa, right? YouTube channel, your only way you're really gonna make money is you have to have a European audience, in UK, Canada, United States, or maybe even Asia, China. Well, other than that, on the continent, so therefore, everything is targeted towards Black America. As much as people hate us and put us down and everything like that, we're still the cat, the goose that lay the golden eggs. That's just a fact.
I think that you're right, Kala, and I think you're right, Brandon. Black America is the most successful Black people on the planet, and I don't think it's necessarily beneficial per se for people who are not doing as well as Black America to down talk Black America. You'll get no resistance from me in terms of that. I 100% agree. I think, though, that one thing that might be beneficial is for people to understand where the disdain of other Black people.
You're going in and out, Lou.
I'm sorry. I said I think something that might be useful to this conversation is if we sometimes were, as a group, as a community, were to try to understand where the disdain comes from. Why do other black groups have what one might consider a disdain, or more than that, is why does everybody have such a distaste for Black America, including Black Americans? And I think that a lot of people, I think one thing that might help, I do think that Black Americans definitely need to get their story out more, because I believe that most people in the world don't understand the struggles that Black America's gone through and the systems that are put in place designed specifically to attack Black America. I don't think that that's out there very much. So I think that Black America probably would definitely it would behoove them to make an effort to go ahead and get their story out there where they can control their own story. I think, though, what is the kicker, though, is besides the fact that people don't know how bad things have been for Black America, is the fact that most people see that the resources that Black America has at their disposal. I mean, we're talking $1.8 trillion a year and growing. There is no reason why Black America can't solve its own problems. And the fact that people all around the world see Black people continue to get on TV, get on YouTube, and complain about their condition, and yet every 4 years vote for the same people who put them in that condition, and never take a moment to think about why that's a bad idea. Like, for example, Black women are the most disrespected people on the planet, and that's wrong. When a Black woman says she's constantly disrespected, she's not lying to you. Black women are disrespected all the time. And it's not right that they're disrespected all the time. However, a lot of good quality Black women are disrespected all the time because a large chunk of our women, okay, will have bought completely hook, line, and sinker into the bad ideologies that have been taught to them, such as I don't need a man, I could do bad by myself. If I got a good job making money from a white man, then I'm somehow above of the Black man. Because I got a degree in art history and you're a plumber, I'm better than you. Like, these ideologies that are inside of our sisters' heads, and it leads to 70% of them that they hold 70% of the student loan debt, 66% are deep in credit card debt, 80% are obese. So when people see that, that creates a disdain, like, what's wrong with the people? So I think what Willie was trying to say was, what's wrong with you? And I think what they're trying to say is, you don't understand what we've been through. And he doesn't.
Yeah.
But what
Lou
I think,
Major.
But Lou, let me say something, Lou.
but what I think would be beneficial is guys like you, Brandon, because we have to at some point move past the harsh realities. It's not fair being Black. That's just the way it is. If you're a Black man, you're going to be judged, you're going to be harassed, you're going to be underestimated. If you're a Black woman, you're going to be disrespected. That's the way it is. What I think people need to want to see from Black America is at some point we move past that part and say, all right, that's the way it is, and this is what I'm going to do for myself.
Let me chime in here, bro. Right. First
No, I'm done. Comment.
Okay. Let me respond to what you said, because you're going on. Yeah, I agree with that. We all know the friggin' problems, you know, and like I told him, I said the problem in Black America. You just saw this last election, right? We have a group of people, right? There's a complete disconnect, right, between what we need to solve, what we need to do, versus the people, the media. If the media and the white establishment left Black America alone, like Trump did, right? And what will happen? You know what will happen? People like Dinah Samir would rise to the top. He'd be the main spokesman of Black America or something like that, you know? But we don't have that. There's a coordinated effort for the longest time. It goes back to the time of Paul Robeson, you know? Paul Robeson went to Russia, right? They wanted to kill him. They wanted to lynch him. Because the white people have their version of what, this is what I wanted to discuss with you for a long time. The white people have their version of the Negro, right? And they create their own version of Negro, whether he's a sports star, whether he's an actor. They cultivate these people. These people aren't just come up because they're talented. I mean, Sidney Poitier was a good actor, but he wasn't all that. Harry Belafonte, all these other people, these people are brought in for a reason. And they post it on us to be role models. This is what you think. This is why there's a disconnect between what we should be doing, right? Because remember, at one time, Malcolm X called what's his name? The comedian Dick Ray. He called him a clown. You know, Malcolm X called Lena Horne a clown. He called all these people clowns. He said we're the only group of people who are entertainers and people have no following, no anything, are put on the pedestal, and it's like that to this day. And I thought that with so-called alternative media, we do that. But alternative media wants to get on mainstream media. You know, no one's serious about this alternative media crap. The same people, whoever who's a black leader, whoever gets on Fox News, whoever face you see on MSNBC, you know, the white man still controls that. They know what they're doing when they put certain people on, because they want to kill certain narratives. There's a lot of black people say we need to do this. I'm part of black empowerment groups and what like that, right? But the bottom, and they're all underground, right? But the face of Black America is we need this, we need this. And the Black people who are making moves and everything is not seen. So that's not the face to the masses of people that we could be an independent people and everything and solve these problems among ourselves, right?
Kala, we have traitors within our ranks.
Yeah.
And what people gotta understand is this. Even like you talked about Harry Belafonte and all them, there are people in the comments, oh, that person's not a traitor, this and that and all this stuff. I like to bring up the basketball player named Mike Bibby. Mike Bibby was an average basketball player, pretty good. He was better than average. Mike Bibby he never, right. You know Mike Bibby. Mike Bibby didn't make anywhere near, right, the money that LeBron James made. Nowhere near, right? LeBron James is now the highest paid NBA player ever. Mike Bibby, when he retired from the NBA, he did something that I thought was amazing and I talked about on my channel. He built a cul-de-sac. He bought a cul-de-sac in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where it's at, it's in some desert area. He bought a cul-de-sac and he gated it, and he built in that cul-de-sac, he built houses for his family, playgrounds for the kids, all this stuff, right? And his family, his brother, his sisters, both his brothers and his sisters, they live in that cul-de-sac with him, right? We have to accept the reality. If Mike Bibby could do that, our celebrities who we look up to, who we protect, oh, don't talk about this person, don't talk about that person.
Yeah.
BLM, any of these people you guys love, the guy who was in here talking about Trump is a clown, be it Black Lives Matter, all that, nothing prevents them from saying, look, I'm just going to build a couple of communities for Black people, and I'm only going to let Black people move in, and we're going to gate these communities. I'll just build a community.
Boosie's doing it.
Right, Boosie's trying to do it, and he probably saw what Mike Bibby did. But the thing was, he's doing that. So when you got a few people who are able to do that, that proves to you that everything we want to do, we can do no problem. The only problem is it's hard for us to have cohesiveness when you have several paid operatives, whether they're celebrities or just Black intellectuals, who come into the community and divide us up along political lines, right? Mm-hmm. That's what's going on here. You talk about Africa. There are places in Africa where they want Black Americans to come, right? The African on the continent is not the African like Willie Fongo. He's not the African like the Africans you see on YouTube. The African on the continent is operating based on a single premise. Who is going to help their economy get to the point where they can actually make money and support their families in a real way, right? In a progressive way. I'm in Kenya. I went to a place in Kenya where there's a lot of Italians, but the Italians are old. They are leaving. My brother, who's the secretary of sports for this county, he's Kenyan. He said, Brandon, he said, look, we want Black Americans to come here because as the Italians leave, we need someone to come in who's going to replace the economy that's going away with those Italians who are old and dying off. He's pointing out an opportunity.
Yes,
but Brandon, here's the issue, though. You see, and what you're saying is accurate. Where I think the disdain that I'm trying to explain comes from, because I think what I've noticed is every time a non-Black American says anything critical about Black America, he is immediately attacked, and then everything he said is dismissed because he's not Black American. And I think that's not true. No, I've watched it happen. It's happened here on the show. So, Brandon?
Yes. No. They tried to listen, bro. I love African people just as much as anybody. I'm telling you, there's a difference between a non-Black American talking to you as a brother on mutual terms, like when me and all my African brothers here talk and we sit around and they drink Tuskers and we talk about all sorts of stuff. There's a difference to when some African gets onto YouTube and starts trying to teach me Black history, start trying to tell me about, oh, this is the problem with Black Americans. Clearly, we're all suffering from the same stuff. So you're not going to be able to diagnose me because I've already been diagnosed. What are you doing about it? Like when I went to Kenya, and my bro said, "Bro, we got 75 acres for you. When you want us to pick you up, because we're gonna take you to go look at everything." That's the difference. I don't need an African to talk to me on YouTube about American problems. I need an African to say, "Look, bro, I'm in Burkina Faso. I got X amount of land for you to come look at. And if you got the money, you can buy it, and I'm going to facilitate the process." That's what we need versus what
Yeah.
we're getting, which is a bunch of African pseudo intellectuals, right? Talking about, this is like, PF Lumumba, right? You know PF Lumumba, the guy who everybody loves on YouTube, right? The little skinny dude.
Yeah.
He's okay guy. But I'll tell you, I'll be the first person to tell you, you're wasting your time listening to him, because what is he doing based on the information that he's getting paid to spew? What is he doing based on that other than rolling around collecting checks for talking to people about stuff they already know? Those days are over. The Africans have figured out that. Listen, hold on. I'm gonna let you talk. Hold on. The Africans have figured. Hold on, real quick. The Africans have figured out the algorithm to getting black people's money. Black people love to be lectured about their own problems. Africans have figured that out. So guess what? Now they're doing it. They're not trying to solve anything. They're just trying to get on here and get in these spaces and talk about bull crap and then make a profit off of it. That's done. That's over.
Okay, I hear everything you're saying, and I think you're 100% right. But I think that I think what helps though is for everybody to understand all sides of perspective. I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong, but I am going to simply say that where the disdain comes from, right? And if you try to understand the other side, I think and here's the deal. I think what you're saying, Brandon, is I get where the disdain is coming from, but telling me why you despise me when you don't fully understand how I became this way doesn't really help the issue. I think that's what you're saying. You're like, yeah, I get it. What you're saying about me, what you feel about me is accurate, but you don't know the whole story. I think that's kind of what I'm hearing you say. Now, assuming that is what you're saying, okay, I get it. I do get it. But I think that there is a frustration, though, of at what point does Black America start fixing its problems?
Let me ask you, Lou. Let me stop you right
there. I do want that. That's an important
right there. Now, the same discussion, right? We could talk about when African Americans go to Africa and they say, "Yo, look, Asia, you guys were free before Asia was, right? Africa didn't suffer during World War II, right? The same Mugabe even said that. You have the infrastructure in Africa is behind the rest of the world. Why is that?"
Okay, Kala, you know what I would say to you is I'm not here to, and what the African would say when you say that. Now, what you're doing right now, and this is where let me respond. Let me respond. Calm down, Kala. Calm down. Kala, calm down. No, but you do. What you do. Listen. What I'm saying to you, listen, Kala. What I'm saying to you is, I get why you would say that, but what you're doing is whataboutism. You're saying, well, yeah, we got this problem, but what about you? And what they're saying, their perspective is, because we come from a place where our infrastructure is behind everybody else, because we come from a place with very corrupt governments, why can't, and yet you have all of these resources, why can't you fix your problems? We don't actually have the resources to fix our problems.
As the answer, want the answer? First of all, the problems in Black America are not all our own. You know, we're living in America. You know, we didn't start this thing. We didn't ask for any of this. We didn't tell the GM and all these people to take your factories to Mexico. That's not our fault. We don't control the government. We don't control the institutions. We don't control the banks. We don't control the money. You know, we're living on the excess of America. That's all we ever were. We're working class people. We have some professionals. We have some people doing dynamite things. But Black America has always been, the only role they wanted for us was a laboring class. This is not our country, man.
But bro,
are you telling us, Lou, wait, hold on. Are you really sitting here saying that Africa doesn't have the resources to fix their own problem? You got billionaires all over Africa.
That's not what I'm saying. But Brandon,
that's what you just said.
Brandon, you're a very smart guy. But with all due respect, you're not educated. Because what you don't understand is I could have all of the diamonds and gold and oil underneath my feet. But if I don't have the money to extract those resources, then I can't profit from it.
Okay, you don't wait, hold on, Kala, please hold on, Kala.
Africa has a stock exchange.
Kala, hold on.
All over the world.
Kala, hold on. I'm not talking about no resources as in no diamonds or no crap like that. I'm talking about physical dollars. Africa has all types of billionaires. The country I'm sitting in right now, Kenya, they have several billionaires. Their president is a freaking.
But Brandon, that's not every place in the world. Every place in the world.
But what I'm telling you, wait, you have to let me finish my point. You have to let me finish my point to know what's not the point. What I'm telling you is this. You said Africans look at Americans like, yo, even though we have problems, we don't have the resources to fix our problems. There is nothing on earth preventing.
They don't. But they actually don't. The entire GDP, Africa, all 54 countries, all of it, right, is $3 trillion.
Okay.
That
but
means,
what I'm saying.
So let me give you some. Brandon, let me give you some context. The GDP of Black America is $2 trillion.
That's income, not GDP. We don't. GDP. If we all Black
listen, Kala. If Black America was its own state, its own country, okay, so that means it just
most of that money goes back to white.
Kala. If Black America was its own country, it would be the 9th richest country in the world.
And that goes to my point. Do you think the white man
is going to let this is very important, Kala. This is very important. If when perspective is Black America, in terms of available capital that is available to them, is close, very, very close to the entire continent of Africa.
But the thing is, Lou, it has a problem. Every time the Black man, now what's going on in Black America with e-commerce, we basically did more commerce with each other nationwide. Black people have products and everything. That would basically the money. But for the most part, I'm willing to say, right, white people are always going to get 90% of our money, right? So
okay,
Black. See, but Kala, Lou, hold on, Lou. You're making assertions, and I'm gonna address them. You gotta give me a chance. The same way you talked about Black America, like Kala just said the point. Our money gets siphoned off. Even though we have this GDP or whatever you say we have, this money is not going all back into our economy. African countries, hold on. African countries have economy as well. And just like Black America, money gets siphoned off. You come to Africa, there are people making money. Guess what? They're buying Mercedes, BMWs, Range Rovers, all that stuff, rolling down dirt roads with no street lights on the street. So all I'm saying is this: we can holler. This is what's going to be over right now. From 2021 going forward, we are no longer about to sit up and make excuses for Africa while we sit up and try to hold Black America's feet to the fire, because Black people are doing the same crap all over the world, buying stuff they can't afford, complaining about their conditions. As soon as they get a little change, they go give it to the white man. We're doing that all over the world.
No,
so
I agree.
I'm telling you straight up. I don't buy this shit about Africa not having resources, because if I'm walking around talking to African millionaires in Kenya, there's no reason why those dudes can't collectively put a paved road through a city. There's no reason why they can't make sure that people have the basic necessities, bro. I was just today, they were giving away food for Jamhuri Day over in Kenya. The government gave away a bunch of food. These people have money. These governments have money. These millionaires have money. But just like everywhere in the world, the rich elite boule Africans are like, yo, we would rather exploit our people than actually help them. Same thing that's happening in America to Black people. But the difference is Black people are being exploited by boule Negroes at the hands of
let me say this, bro.
Whites.
The young Africans, what happened in Liberia the other day with the election shows you that something is going on. The young people there, basically, they thought they were going to ride to the CDC party, thought they were going to ride to victory. they voted their asses out. And one of the guys got a hog whip by his constituents. They tied him up and whipped him for losing. You know, bottom line is this: Africa, something's going. There's an awakening going with young Africa. They don't want to hit him. Or President Museveni, right? He's trying to get rid of Bobby Wine in Uganda. You know, and I think we should be taking a picture. Museveni needs to go. You know, that's my position. He needs to go. Not only that, right? I remember back in 2010, he hosted a Commonwealth thing, and it enraged me, right? And I wrote a blog about it, right? Where he spent like millions of dollars to bring these Europeans everything in this, and at the same time, I'm watching Discovery Channel where in a Ugandan village there was a crocodile eating people because the women had to go. You saw that thing, the crocodile they were trying to hunt down, you know, giant crocodile. Because the people, instead of having a modern latrine and modern stuff like that, which wouldn't cost that much money, but they could bathe and everything, they got to go to the river, right? In this late day and time to get to bathing. And I said, so, but he just hosted all these, spent lavishly on some opulent thing, hosting all these stupid demons from the UK and everything.
Exactly, Kala. You're 100. Kala, you're 100% right. And guess what? He could host all the crackers he wants to. He could have a whole cracker and soup party. But guess what? He's not gonna do. He's not gonna put down Black Americans for our problems. When in his country and in all those countries, you got billionaires letting people use holes in the ground as a toilet and stuff like that. Every Black country and place in the diaspora has problems. Black America is not going to be the proverbial whipping boy for everybody to just take shots at Black Americans. It's not going to happen anymore. We're going to look. I just got into it with a bunch of YouTubers, right? Fine. I'm not going to say no names, but guess what? I was telling them straight up, I'm putting you on notice. You're no longer coming at Black Americans like, yo, we can just, it's a free for all and we could talk about Black Americans, because I don't know what any of these African YouTubers are doing, even for the people in their own country, while they're steady trying to put down Black Americans. Oh, y'all doing this, y'all doing it. Black Americans are actually trying to come to the continent and make stuff happen.
And make a difference.
How many of, but let me tell you this, to this day, like that one boxer said, right? How now Dynas goes to Africa. Dynas experienced this. Dynas, how many African YouTubers, I'm talking about African YouTubers, really came through and was like, yo, Dynas, I got some land for you. I got something for you where you can have a tangible thing here. How many?
As far as YouTubers, none.
Exactly. When I went to Kenya, the Kenyan YouTubers were nowhere to be found. Tried to connect with them, they was gone. The people who are going to help you are the people on the continent doing regular work, teachers, people who are construction workers, people who are just middle class people in that place like you. I asked all my Kenyan friends, hey, you heard this of this YouTuber, that YouTuber? They're like, who the hell is that? Right? So we're going to understand something. If you're African, if you're African who's on YouTube, the jig is up. We know you ain't shit. We know you ain't trying to do nothing for Black Americans. So keep our name out your damn mouth before we come visit you.
That's something interesting. You know, for the longest time, Black people wouldn't even admit they are middle class. You got Black people who are middle class. Oh, you're so scared to, yeah, okay, just admit you're middle class. You make a little bit of money, you got a house, whatever like that. There's a growing African middle class, and basically they got the same sort of lifestyle. And it's like they say there's almost like 400 million people in Africa in the middle class. You know, people just have lifestyle. They go to restaurants, stuff like that. Couldn't we? I know that the poor and the village, we could work together to help them. But shouldn't we connect with that force first? Am I out of line like that? Should we connect with those Black people first? People who got businesses, who know how to run banks and stuff like that.
You have to go. You have to connect with people who have a similar, like my boy Wilfred. My boy Wilfred Kakai said, he said, Brandon, you just have to connect to people that have a similar goal as you. He said a lot of people in Africa don't want anything out of life. They just want to survive and go from day to day doing whatever. A lot of people, their goal is to end the day with a cold Tusker beer, and that's it. And what I'm telling you is, when you get on these social media platforms, you're dealing with a lot of people who are really nobodies, but they're trying to speak on issues as if they are an authority on that,
Right.
What does this YouTuber know more than my friend who's the police chief who's a police chief in Kalifi County? What does he know? The YouTuber, nothing. What does a YouTuber know over my friend who's Secretary of Sports for Kalifi County? Nothing. And those people will tell you firsthand. These people are just degenerates, and they figured out a way to capitalize off of spewing ignorance over the internet. Go to Africa, connect with real people who are doing real things, not somebody sitting up in an apartment talking about, with a backdrop, but the apartment ain't even got no running water, but they talk about Black Americans need to this, Black Americans need to do that. Go to somebody who's building a house or trying to do something like that. Then they can tell you how to do it. That's how I did it. And once you do that, you will have access to everything you need. You're not going to get nowhere going to talk to bums and listening to bums on the internet just because they got a YouTube channel. That's not going to help you. And like Dinah said, these YouTube people aren't helping anybody. I'm telling you that right now. They're not.
Let's say something like for 2021, right? I think the day of the YouTuber and also that is going to be fit. Let's they got platforms like this one, like Dinah's and a couple other people, right? I like Angry Man Show. He does a good play. A couple other people, but the idea of people spreading drama and stuff like that, where they should be building and doing work and connect, because the bottom line, this is all Black America is going to have. Towards the mainstream media, the Joy Reads is going to be so intense, right? Be ready.
If I can interject real quick, I'm going to let you finish. But Brent, there are, I've had a couple. How can I? There are a number of African YouTubers who are definitely looking out, who have looked out. Let me just put that on record.
That's totally fine. Let me just say this. Let's look at the facts. Let me turn my camera. Okay, name the people in Africa right now who are majority like, yo, come to Africa, buy land, come buy land. Blacksit. You got Black Acres of the Gambia, Art Kathy, whether she's scamming or not. RJ, me, you, Lou Major. If you start really naming the people who are actually pushing for African Americans or Black Americans to come to Africa and purchase land and stuff like that, the most vocal people are the Black Americans or like some other diasporans. What I'm saying is this: these people, Dinus, when I did what I did, right? I have friends who are of a certain tribe. Those people said, yo, you're not going nowhere else to get land. You're going to get land from our tribe, and we're going to facilitate that process for you. Took me out, hooked it up, we're done, right? Every African has a tribe. Every tribe has some land. Every tribe has land that they're selling for pennies on the dollar. These people could directly take you and say, Baba, whoop, whoop, this is my friend. We want to get some land. Whatever, give us a title deed, he'll pay, right? And it can happen, right? If they're not, if they won't even reveal to you what tribe they're from, or invite you to come out to their tribe to meet the elders and stuff like that, and facilitate a process where you can get some land, or at least, even if it's just the chief saying, hey, here goes some acres for you, they're not serious. That's the reality. They're not serious. And what I'm seeing is people who won't even tell you what tribe they are, trying to jump on internet and talk about, well, Black Americans this, and America's this, and America's that, and Black Americans this. And it's like, wait a minute, bro, you don't want to be my brother because you ain't even invited me out. You don't got to pick me up from the airport or nothing. Just tell me where to meet you when I come, and let's go talk to your elders, and let's see if they can let me have an acre or a quarter acre or something.
Let me give a shout out to brother Ebube Okoli, who comes on here, my Igbo brother. Ebube is definitely encouraging.
That brother is sharp.
Black Americans.
He's down. Ebube is down, bro. He's down. And he's one of the people you should listen to and accept. And he doesn't get on here trying to talk down on Black Americans. And that's what you're going to notice. It's a certain type of African who feels like they got enough clout to down talk Black Americans while at the same time pretending like they look. Why would an African YouTuber talking down on Black Americans want Black Americans in their country? Then we'll take over the entertainment. Our YouTube channel will be even bigger. Dinus, do you realize there are some African YouTubers jealous of you because your page got so big talking about Africa and theirs is small. That's the reality. I'm not saying all Africans are jealous. What I'm telling these people watching this right now, stop messing with these African YouTubers. Go to Africa, deal with some real African people who really are trying to do something in their country. That's when you're going to have success. Listening to these people on the internet is going to keep you right where you are, not having nothing. I'm no longer am I speaking as a person who's just speaking. I've done it. I've done it. So now I can speak with authority on it. Okay, I'm a landowner in Africa now, and not a little bit of land either. So, and my people, I took them to where I said we was going to go, and I only was able to do that by getting on the ground and using my network of African people in Africa. No YouTuber helped me. No YouTuber in Kenya where we did our thing reached out to me, helped me, promoted my stuff. Nothing. You're only going to get it if you go to the continent. Stop trying to live vicariously through African YouTubers. Most of them are totally not worried about you. They didn't figure out how to make some money and they exploiting you. That's what's going on.
Guys, hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. And what we'll do, we'll start. Go ahead,
it is like mutual respect. Like I was trying to tell Lou. It's like everybody got every time. This is what when I was growing up, right? I'm just a kid, right? I don't know much, right? There was always that one white guy, mostly a Jew, like, see, what you black people in? I'm like, I don't know, it's like the other thing. What's your father do? He works at, yeah, you guys come a long way. Everybody's always got our thing. People mean well a lot of times, but black people need to do it, but they don't understand. The reason why we don't have our shit together, like because we had to carry America. We had to be the civil rights people. But Malcolm X said only a few black people cared about civil rights. They wanted schools for their kids. That's why Whitney Irving Young died in Nigeria. He gave up on America in 1971, and he mysteriously died in Lagos, Nigeria. Because he was saying, look, I'm going to bring the HBCUs, all the like that. He got caught up in the Pan-African thing. He was a civil rights leader, opposed Malcolm X and everything. Then he said, by 1971, he said, yo, look, I'm going to Africa. I can see all these countries developing. He said, we could build a pipeline. And he mysteriously died in the pool in Lagos, Nigeria in 1971. But what I'm saying is the majority of black people are not out there. The civil rights is an illusion, right? And we've kept on to it because we want to be included. That's what the thing. The Marcus Garvey movement was the largest movement. Black Lives Matter is now saying that they're the largest black movement ever. Are they crazy? That's what they're saying. We're the largest, most influential black movement. The Garvey movement had 8 million members worldwide. No other movement ever topped the Garvey movement. Garvey movement is one paragraph in the encyclopedia, right? The NAACP, they never had a following among black people. Credibility gets 4 or 5 pages. Look at Smithsonian Institute of African American History. Garvey will talk about a little bit. Civil rights is all over the place, right? Black Lives Matter will be up there soon, right? All over the place. They control our narrative. So it's disingenuous to hold us responsible for why we can't get ahead, because all these forces are against black progress and black power. So it's disingenuous when people talk about you black people need to do this. Well, the people got billions of dollars, right? And their psychological warfare and propaganda against Black America to keep us just where we are. And people, if you can't acknowledge that, then you're not really with us.
Bro, it's so disingenuous. I mean, I don't promote or publicize really, the stuff I do for people in Africa. Bro, like, come on. I'm paying for surgeries, helping kids. I'm paying for like 8 kids to go to school, bro. Like, it's ridiculous. It's not ridiculous, but it's whatever. But the thing is, you're lecturing me on what my people need to do, but I'm in your country doing more for your people than you're even doing. Like, I'm not going to accept that. And I have no problem doing that. And I have no problem with you not doing it. But all I'm going to say is stop trying to lecture us on what we need to do, because there are many of us who are doing what we need to do. And if you got off the damn podium and stopped lecturing and started working with us, we would get things done a lot faster, period. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it's going to take. We need to stop trying to lecture each other. If we're gonna work together, let's work together. If you're gonna work against us, we'll just go work against us. But don't sit up and make it seem like you're doing us a favor by sitting up trying to point out all the ways in which we're not doing things right, and especially when it's the pot trying to call the kettle black. That's not going to work. That's just not going to work. Guys
Yeah.
like Ibube and stuff, they're genuine. I have my boy Lasego. He's genuine over in South Africa. They're really trying to help us. But guess what? Maybe they don't have the resources as all these other people, but you got Africans who roll around like, yo, I got this much
Like
money.
that.
I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But guess what?
Chaz, MC Chaz, he's another one I can't stand. MC Chaz. We Nigerians, and man, get out of here with your refugee ass. You know, MC Chaz. You know, he's another one. You know, it's a pain. He's another one. Nigerian. Yo, let's stop this.
Yeah.
Stuff, you know.
No, nobody has an issue with Nigerians or
Right.
any African country. But the point is, you're a whole hypocrite if you talking about what Black Americans need to do, and you're not even doing that. And what I realize about a lot of these people in Africa who are on YouTube and stuff, they're able to hide behind what's the first thing? Hey, bro, why you don't help that kid next door who can't go to school because their mom don't got no money? Because of corruption. Corruption. Like, bro, wait a minute. So
$100 with $200, you could send like 4 African kids to school for a year.
But no, corruption. But corruption is not stopping the purchases of Range Rovers.
Right.
Corruption is not stopping the purchases of Mercedes Benz.
Corrupt with that stuff because 2021 we got to come back strong with this.
But there's no corruption. But there's no corruption in the United States, though. There's no corruption there. That's bullcrap.
You just said something. What these people are saying is America is the promised land, the perfect country, everything like that. What they're doing is defending America.
How dare you not be successful? The white man let you in the big house and you not successful. Man, there's corruption everywhere, bro.
But check this out. But what they don't talk about, when there's a narrative of this, they're creating a white man's narrative, right? There's so many white people out of work. I deal in Medicare, so like there's so many poor white people out there. But nobody will ever say, why are you poor? They always say, oh, the economy downturn. Oh, this happened, the stock market. But when Black people are poor, oh, it's your fault. You're no good. You're lazy, blah, blah, blah. There's white people that have broken homes, using opioids and everything like that. We have a new law now where people get opioid treatment in their insurance policy. It's so bad, you know? But everything is on Black America, you know, what we need to do, you know? But when white people, it's like when the Dust Bowl happened, right? The Dust Bowl was really the farmers. They went out there in the prairies. They overworked the land. They didn't know how to work the land. And the Dust Bowl happens. They lost their farms and everything. But historically, the narrative is, oh, these poor people out there, the prairie people, they did this, stuff like that. You know, when they fail, there's this narrative to protect them, their whiteness, their innocence, right? When Black people do something fail, it's all these niggas are stupid, you know.
Kyler, look, and then when you try to hold a lot of African people on YouTube, especially accountable, they try to make it seem like you're trying to come in with like a superiority complex, bro. I was just in the ghetto right here, freaking eating chicken in Ugali, okay, in the cut with my friends, you know what I'm saying, sitting on the ground, okay. I have no superiority complex with anybody. That's another excuse. See, that's what I notice about some African people. Everything is an excuse. How is somebody coming to you like, bro, I need your help. I don't like where I'm at. I want to come to where you are, and I need you to help me get some land and facilitate that process. That person has a superiority complex on you? No, you are the one who feels threatened because you've been watching too many white created TV programs where you feel like, oh, Black people gonna come out and try to do this and do that to me. Or maybe you just have an inferiority complex to where maybe you think Black Americans are better than you. Black Americans aren't better than anybody. And Africans aren't better.
America's the most down-to-earth people on the friggin' planet. You know? Most down-to-earth
right.
planet.
But we think we're Africans come on. But look, they'll worship, but they'll let the white. I was getting on a plane to Mombasa the other day. Some white lady gets on there. She's talking to me. Oh, where you from? She's a missionary, some type of missionary. So I see the lady later on at this restaurant. Man, she got 9 Africans waiting on her hand and foot, helping her up the steps, pulling out her chair. All this. You're a missionary for a church? and you got Africans waiting on your hand and foot. So I walk up to her and I say, man, how much you paying these people to do all this? She said, oh no, they're just members of the church. I don't pay them anything. So you mean to tell me these African people over here is waiting on this woman hand and foot, bro? It was ridiculous, right? Pouring her drinks, and they might as well picked up her cup and put it to her mouth for her. And she was able-bodied. She was getting on a plane on her own, walking fine. But you will say, we are trying to lord over you. We are trying to have like a complex over you. I don't know one African American. I don't know one African American who goes to Africa like, yo, you should be throwing rose petals at my feet. I don't know one African who's like, yo, I need nine. I don't know one African American who's like, yo, I need 9 Africans to accompany me to this restaurant and wait on me hand and foot. Like you would have thought these people worked at the restaurant the way they was. I mean, damn, they were freaking cutting up the lady's food for her and everything. But African Americans are trying to lord over us. No, the white man, the Indian, the Indian who you let.
Oh, check this out.
Let me tell you. Hold on, Dad. Hold on real quick, Colin. Let me tell you this. People talking about, black women are disrespected. Look, man, I've seen Indians in Africa degrade African women so bad that I had to stop and go up to them and be like, bro, you need to back the fuck up. Do you know who was the primary person who jumped in and defended that Indian or that Arab? African men and women. Oh, no. It's okay, bro. This and that. Don't talk to us about disrespect. Don't talk to us about disrespect. You guys tolerate disrespect from everybody else, but then sit up and try to lecture African Americans. You can't do that. That's called being a hypocrite. Now, when you can stop those people from disrespecting your women and you in your own country where the president is the same tribe as you, that's when you are now capable to lecture African Americans. We don't lecture you. Don't lecture us. That's it.
I see the thing in Zambia, right? The Chinese have now basically gotten so bold that all the street signs are made in Chinese. You know, Chinese men are running their sewage or whatever runoff into African people's houses. They can't do nothing about it. I just put the video on Facebook. We can't. The China man's doing this and whatnot. You know. And so at the bottom of the last year, or earlier this year, last year, there was a Chinese man who banned a Zambian, said we only in his own country, say you're not allowed to discriminate in this place when we only let people in here. And the guy says, I'm a Zambian, right? He refused to let a Zambian in a store in his own country. You know, and then it's just like and too many Africans are tolerant of that stuff, right? And so, but yet, and you know who it is? It's these Africans who sit back, right? Who, and this is so petty. You know, it's so petty. They want African American status, whatever the hell that means, right? So when you go over there, they're looking for every little thing to point out. Oh, you think you're better than locals and everything. That's them. That's what they think of themselves, you know. But they want to project that onto us, you know. The African Americans are doing this or like that.
Hey, Kala, it's the boule. It's the boule. The boule Africans benefit from their own brothers and tribesmen being downtrodden. Yeah. Right? The boule African, Dinas, would you agree with that? Boule Africans benefit from other Africans being just like put down. Just like right or wrong?
You're right.
Just like in America.
Okay. So when I come to Africa, I connect with Africans who are like not rich, they're middle class. They're like me, middle class. And they'll tell you everything. An African who is rich wants to hire somebody to work for them for $2 a day, right? So an African who's rich has no incentive to actually help the African who is poor get to the point where he can demand more than $1 or $2 a day for his work. Most of our stuff is self-inflicted. Same way in Africa. When you see an Indian putting down an African woman, I'm like to the point where I thought this dude, and this is several times, I thought this dude was going to hit this lady, okay? You realize real quick, wait a minute, there are rich Africans living in this same complex. Why aren't they coming out here whooping this guy's ass, telling them don't ever talk to her like that again? Because they benefit. From that. The boule uses other races to keep the other Africans in line. I'm telling you, The Boule uses other races to keep their African brothers and sisters who are of a lower class than them in line. Because if you brought Uhuru Kenyatta or one of these politicians over here, right? There's no way they would allow those Indians and stuff to talk to them like that. But they realize if we allow, that's their boogeyman. If we can keep our people afraid, oh, if you don't vote for me, the Arabs are going to take over. If you don't vote for me, the Indians, and you see how they treat you, they use that as the boogeyman to keep those poor Africans supporting them. Because those Africans are like, man, if an Indian treat me like this and I just work for him, imagine what he would do if he was president. You see what I'm saying?
South Africa. ANC does that in South Africa, you know.
And so what the Boule, so what the Boule YouTubers are doing, let me tell you this real quick. What the Boule YouTubers are doing is they know that the Black American YouTubers are coming to Africa. They know that. So what they're doing now is they're trying to make us out to be like boogeymen so that other Africans won't help us. That's all that is. That's all that is. They feel like, man, I can't let this person come to my country and do more than I'm doing. And we're not doing more than they're doing because they can't. They don't want to. I see African YouTubers going around giving away money, but when they're going to buy a piece of land for their people or something for their people that benefits them in a tangible way, no, because that's not going to get the likes. That's not going to get the super chats. That's not going to get the Patreon subscriptions. See? So Africans, don't think that me, Pan-Africanism Strikes Back, hate you. I love you. Your enemy is right among your own ranks, just like our enemies are right among our own ranks. And just like we need to clean house, you guys need to clean house. That's the only way we're going to make progress. We have to clean house.
And you know how we're going to do it, Brandon? We're going to make them own this election. You know, we're going to make them own this. Every time, no, but you said this. You said this. It was like, when black unemployment goes up and gas prices go up and there's wars breaking out and everything, we're going to dump this all on their feet. They ain't going to be able to show their faces and whatnot. They're going to be running for cover. You're going to see rolling around with big bug eyes coming out of a desk like, the coast is clear? The coast is clear? You know, load it. Master Biden. Master Biden, help me.
Colin made up another classic line tonight. The coast clear.
Well, you see, imagine rolling with big bug eyes, like, what's going on?
Hey, Dynas is getting tired, man, and I need to go try to get at least an hour.
Let's go to close out. Brandon, anything like to share, close?
Man, all I'm saying is, look, guys, I'm like, like 6 or 7 months ago, I started a journey. We're coming to the end of our journey, getting things done. I mean, it's really opened my eyes. Everybody who's not doing nothing for our people is because they don't want to. It's not because they can't. It ain't an excuse in the world, man. COVID-19 is the new excuse for Negro stalling. Don't let these people sell you that garbage, man. Get you a passport, get you a ticket, come to Africa, meet some people, tell them you want to go meet their mama and their daddy and their sisters and all that. See if they just real genuine people, right? And then come, you can hit me up, whatever, but just start doing work. These YouTube streets, the new black media, quote unquote, it's not black media, it's just black fear mongering, working in service of white supremacy. You know what I mean? That's the reality. You got a couple real channels, Dynas, me, different people on here, African Millennial, people like that. They're just gonna keep it real no matter what. Nobody is getting paid enough on YouTube to excuse the amount of disingenuous misrepresentation that's taking place and the amount of just basically lies and misinformation that's being spewed. Get out of these YouTube streets, off of these channels that aren't giving you any clear direction or plans to get something done. Entertainment is cool, but you can watch Netflix and be entertained. Now we need to only go to the places where things are being created. Dynas has created an incredible resource, the travel agency site where he helps you get cheap tickets to Africa. I'm doing my work with OAP. Kala, he's on his way to that continent. I know he's about to get some stuff cracking because you know, one thing I like about Kala, right, is Kala is not an excuse maker. He's not a person who's like, yo, let me be your leader, but I don't want to be a leader, right? Like, at first,
I'm not mentioning no names.
no, right. At first, I got caught up, not even caught up, but at first, I was on the fence, like, okay, Kala, you know, there's some other stuff going on.
Brandon,
But now,
why don't you go ahead and rejoin the Ning site? Matter of fact,
I think I'm still on it.
Oh, you think you are? I sent out. Do you get the notices for the conference calls every Saturday night?
Just contact me. No, I didn't.
Dinus, can you give me Brandon's email me Brandon's contact information?
Yeah, give him my contacts. But
we got to talk. Anyway,
leadership is here. There's real leadership here. There's leaders right now in our community, even on YouTube. We're having like a little battle, right? You have some true leadership where people who really want to see you do well are kind of being interrupted and impeded by people who are like, no, we need to keep them where they're at so that we can capitalize on them. These people don't want you to come to Africa. They want you to sit and pay them to tell you about Africa. Understand that. Understand the situation you're in so you can get out of it. And that's all I have to say.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. And Brandon, shout out your page where people can go subscribe.
My page is PanAfricanism Strikes Back. OAP is something we got going. Just come over there if you want more information. And Dinus, did you get that what we sent you when you was in Sierra Leone?
Yeah, I shouted you out. Everybody, OAP sent me a love offering. I appreciate it. Thank you.
For the Church of Dinus. No, but that's what we're all about. Just supporting each other. Real support. Not hey, I'll pretend to be your friend over YouTube if you send me some super chats and give me a Patreon subscription. Because that's what we're doing. We're literally buying friendship, trying to buy acceptance. You can't do that.
I refuse.
That's over.
Any money from anybody.
That's over. I don't take money from nobody either. And if Dinus gets money, it's because he deserves it. Because he's creating resources for you. He's creating resources for you. So go give your money to Dinus. Give your money to Dinus. Stop trying to buy friendship over YouTube. I'm telling you, stop trying to do that.
Give it all to Dinus Samir. You know.
But that's it, y'all. For me.
Let's say it. All right, Brandon. Let's check this out. So anyway, I'm putting the process together of getting my trip together to the continent. I'm going to what I call the promised land, Liberia. Okay. And it's going to be a tough itinerary. I don't know. I got to get used to everything. I'm trying to set everything up. I don't know if I'll get a lot of stuff done, but I will, when I get there, do a live stream from there on Dinus' show. That's going to be something else. On Dinus?
Right.
Africa on Dinus' show. That's going to have, we're going to have like 5,000 live stream people watching, you know? And so, and I'm going to do my radio show from the continent, too, So, but anyway, I want to promote my book. I got people to see. I'm going to Nimba County, too. And up there, people got stuff to do. I got a whole bunch of people. I got so many invites. And I appreciate it. I got so many people inviting me to different parts of this. 2021 is going to be my year to travel to the continent. And so I got people inviting me for several places. And I don't know if I could get to all the places. But I definitely want to get my first trip up under my belt, to the continent. It's going to be something else. I just got to get over my fear of flying over the Atlantic. Once I do that, Dinus tells me it's no big deal. I'm holding to him. When I'm up in the air and I hit some turbulence, I'm going to say, God damn that, Dinus. So that's my whole thing, man. That's what okay, my fear of flying overseas and everything. I flew domestically here, but fear of flying over the Atlantic and everything is my first time. My book is Journey to the Promised Land, Voyage of the Bark Azor.
Great book.
It tells a story of the exodus of 1878 from Charleston, South Carolina to Liberia during the first ever Black-owned Exodus Steamship Company that they basically colonized. This was supposed to, after the Hayes-Tillman Compromise, this was supposed to be what was supposed to, Lou Major asked about Black America. This was what we were supposed to be doing for the next 100 years, migrating and colonizing and building settlements to Liberia, the Congo, everything. Our leaders, our real leaders at that time thought we had no future in America. So even though we're in America, people beating us over here, what we're not doing, we were supposed to get the hell out of here. That's what we were supposed to be doing. So read my novel. If you want to know why Black America didn't do that, because we didn't follow this. It was sabotaged. And just like the Garvey movement, this book right here, the story, is what led to the Garvey movement some 40 years later. Garvey didn't just come out of nowhere. This movement was already in progress. And the idea that we should build Africa and everything is still happening in 2021 with African Americans in different places. But I know Diane's tired. She's gonna fall asleep. You know. So I'll see you guys later. Hopefully, I'll be back next week.
Yeah, everyone, thank you so much for joining.
I want to make that book into a movie. That's what I'm pitching. It'll be a great movie.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, and subscribe. Go to dynastymirror.com. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, search for Ruru. Peace.
Peace.